Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad. I missed you so bad. I missed you so, so bad. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad. And you should know that I miss you so. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Like, here's my number, so call me, baby. It's hard to look right at your baby, but here's my number, so call me, baby. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me, baby. Now the other day, you know they try to chase me, but here's my number, so call me.
Hey everybody, it's the top of the hour. That means you've still got a couple minutes to get yourself all set. Maybe get a snack, get something to drink. Get all comfy cozy, share out the link with your friends and family not already in the stream, because the Suzette Veneti Show will begin in about 2.5 minutes.
Last night, he said, oh baby, I feel so down, and it turns me on when I feel left out. So I took a vow, oh baby, don't care no more. I know this for sure, I'm walking out that door. Well, I've been in town for just about 15 more minutes now. Baby, I feel so down, and I don't know why. I keep walking for miles. And people, they don't understand. Your girlfriends, they won't understand. Your grandsons, they won't understand. On top of this, I ain't ever gonna understand. Last night, he said, ooh, baby, I feel so down, and it turns me on when I feel left out. So I took a vow, oh, baby, will it be alright? It's a great big lie, 'cause I left that night. Oh, people, they don't understand. No girlfriend, they don't understand. Spaceships, they won't understand. On top of this, I ain't ever gonna understand that. Last night, he said, ooh, baby, I feel so down, and it turns me on when I feel left out. So I turned around. Oh, baby, don't care no more. I know this for sure. I'm walking out that door.
Welcome to the virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show. Please welcome to your screen, Suzette Veneti.
Hi everybody, it's 5:03. That means it's time for the Suzette. Wow, okay, you can't say your own name, girl. You've had too much. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show. It's Sunday, February 21st, and this is the only show hosted by a drag princess who, when people say, "Wow, you're getting better," we just keep rolling because that's a good compliment. Okay, Self-esteem. Anyhow, the DMV issued a license to with a woman who was wearing a mask, and I just wanted to say I wasn't feeling particularly pretty that day, so they just did me a solid thank you, DMV. Bam Margera was fired from Jackass 4 for violating his contract, which made me simultaneously say there have been only 4 Jackass movies, and also I can't believe there have been 4 Jackass movies. And last one, it was a week full of funny stuff, but we got a full show, so I'm going to get out of the way and let this show just be what it is. Everyone's mad at Ted Cruz for leaving his dog when he went to Cancun. Did anyone stop to consider that maybe Ted Cruz's dog didn't want to be with him and elected to stay home alone? Because that's how I'm seeing it. That dog is smart and was like, no, I don't like you. Okay, cool. And with that, we're going to get to the show where the real talent is, like I said. So first up, we're going to do a pair of awesome friends of mine who are contributors on the show. One is in New York, one is in the Bay. They co-produce a show called Who Wrote This Shit? And I love them both dearly. Please give it up for Chelsea Bearce and Robby Sandler.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
I would also, first of all, like to point out, this is the very first time, I've done this show for years now. Fucking years. I'm just kidding. This is the first time your guest has clapped for me. I see you. I see you. So I don't know who she is, but I'm obsessed with her now because she is very encouraging.
She is the best.
Yes. Oh, agreed, honestly. I don't want to say names or anything because I feel like this could be a surprise situation. I don't know how you're showing
let's go ahead and say it.
Oh boy, you chose well tonight.
I did. I have 2 guests tonight. I have Sia Envy, and that's who you guys are talking about.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So loved.
But really quick, you guys have to go quickly. Not like quickly, but like.
I mean, our next show is in 1 hour, so I mean, let's not talk to us for that long. But you know, we have some time. We're okay.
What's going on, guys? How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing very well. This is actually my first time since November broadcasting from my own apartment. So I am back in Manhattan proper. And look at this beautiful background that I cultivated by marrying someone who put a lot of things on his side of the wall.
Yes.
Excellent decorating by marriage. Well done.
Right. Honestly, yeah, I didn't decorate. I decorated in law.
Yeah. You did well. You did well. You married up.
Thank you.
You married up and into the stud.
Ew. I'm sorry. The phrase "you married up and into this guy" was a little complicated for me, but in a fun way.
Completely accurate, actually. So yes, yeah, it's. I mean, very well done.
Some people exchange rings. We did it the gay way,
and by decorating the walls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right up and in there.
That means different things to different people. So I just want to clarify that means you put up posters on your walls. Not the other kind of not the Jackson Pollock way.
Oh my God! How was brunch?
It was fun. It was good.
This conversation. How was brunch today? Were you good? Did you make tips? What happened?
You know what? I was good, and people are like, you heard me say at the top probably. People like to say, you know what? You are getting good. And
you said better. Let's calm down.
Yeah.
Let's keep you slightly grounded, bitch.
Okay.
You said getting better. Okay.
I'm sorry. I have this hair from Liz, and the hair from Liz gives me a big head. Not literally, but like it just makes me feel good and pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to pause for a second and just say, Chelsea, do you think the world really needs another timid drag queen? Suzette, lean into the fantasy. Don't listen to her.
Oh, okay. Well,
you need a big head.
Let me interrupt this and say this is where I keep her down on the ground, because if she gets no, that head cannot handle any more inflation. She doesn't know what to do with the wigs on her head now, so let's not make her head any bigger, please.
No. I respect your rage.
What did we call it last week? The crushing wave of Obsolescence? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, there was a term that I was really obsessed with. Now I have to go back and watch the show again. Damn it.
Oh no.
But yes, yes, we did want to pop on here and just tell everybody that we created a show that is live every single Monday. And we're really proud of it. This is weird because it's a new show. What are we at? 20 episodes in? 21 episodes?
This week is episode 22, which is the 21st episode because I skipped 15 by accident.
14. Yes, that one is completely lost. But we've been creating this show for 10 years, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so wait, Suzette, I can explain this. So
here it comes. Write it down, bitch. You're not going to remember. Okay.
Take notes. This is very important. This is their story. So Chelsea and I met because I was in a musical theater writing workshop and I was partnered with her roommate, Nick, for an assignment. And Nick threw a Christmas party that birthed friendships that exist in my life to this day, including him, including Chelsea. And we played some of the very first rounds of the game that we now call Who Wrote This Shit? And at first it was so easy, like terrible movie sequels, and everyone wrote down a thing. But then we started playing it every single time we got together because we always wanted to play. Everyone wanted to play. And then the pandemic happened and Chelsea and I started talking because, once the pandemic started, I lived just as close to Chelsea as my next door neighbor. Mm-hmm. And so we started talking about this show. And actually, I got invited with Chelsea onto another online game show. Evelyn Erie Diamond does Match Game Apocalypse.
She does.
I think I've seen you there. And we were there, and Chelsea and I were like, we had so much fun being on a game show together. What if Who Wrote This Shit was a game show?
And we wanted to create it like years ago, but it was one of those things where it's like, we don't need to create this game. What we have is what we have. This is a game that we play with friends. Why try to make it bigger than what it really is? And then life happened, a decade went by. I live in California. Robby lives in New York. It's like one of these things where he still hosts game nights every week, and they're all online, they're all digital. And so we were like, well, let's fucking make this. This is the thing. So then we worked it out. We actually spent 6 weeks developing the actual show itself, which sounds painstakingly long, but it went very fast. And so we created the show, we created the brand. We used our friends to create the jingle and the logo and everything. Those are our friends because we wanted to give them work.
Artists supporting artists.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, enough money came in throughout the first 20 episodes of the show to actually pay off all of our friends at their actual rates for the work that they did, which is the best feeling.
Yeah, because that's one thing I think is way too misconstrued is when your friends have a store, when your friends have a business, when your friends have a talent, when they have a company, you are constantly looking for the hookup. Give me the hookup, I want free shit, da-da-da-da-da. No, that's when you need to be paying more. These are your friends. Fucking support them. Absolutely. I don't want free shit from my friends. I want to pay you what you're fucking worth because that's how I value you as not only an artist, but as my fucking peer.
I want to go on record.
If I want to get a discount somewhere, I'm going to go to Target and pick up the little circular and try to screw a company out of money, not my friend.
No, sir. Get a red card. You can save 5%.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say that, when we do the drag mitzvah cake, Chelsea, and Robby's in on this too, because we've talked about it, the three of us, we're paying for the drag mitzvah cake. I don't know what it is or when it is, but we're paying for it.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I am ready for one such cake.
I expect you to fly out here, sir, for this drag mitzvah.
I mean, let's see how much sense that makes then, because, there are diseases in the air, friend.
There are, but I will entice you. Miss Apple Adams was practicing her fake Hebrew today for the drag mitzvah.
As much as I enjoy the idea of that on 5 or 6 levels. I do still want to survive this year.
Sure.
So a lot is going to be based on that. And I say this from a place of love. Like, you mean something to me. Are you like risk my life for a party mean something to me? No, but I don't know that anyone else is there either. So,
well,
I mean, that's
if
fair.
I'm vaccinated, I'm there.
Okay.
That's fair.
Let's see
I'll
what
take
gets stuck into me in the next few months.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
that is, I'm going to let that one
Let's.
sit. Yeah. We'll just see what gets stuck into you. So to recap, you guys are a couple and you tried
Yes.
for 10 years to conceive. But then you were only pregnant with the show for 6 weeks. And then you gave birth to this beautiful 21-week-old show.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. You made it sound gross, but yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. I mean, his husband would have something to say about this relationship, but yeah, whatever you said was kind of right. Yeah.
I mean,
But the important thing is
Mazel.
Chelsea put a great idea in me and I carried it to term.
Oh. Something did get stuck in you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about your guys' show when I was showering. I don't know why, because I think that's where I do my creative thinking. And
I think about me when I'm naked too. Go on.
and
my God.
I was like, what if they had a shirt and it said, "Who wore this shirt?" But it had like your logo.
It's adorable that your mind is going to creating puns for our merch already. But seeing as how, like, I don't know, 40 people know that our show exists, I don't know if that would come across yet. But I mean, it's solid. I'm very proud of you. Who wrote that
absolutely.
for you? Who wrote-
I play. You see me on the YouTube comments. I play the game.
You do. That's true. I never feature them, but you sure do try.
Sometimes I see you look at it and
Hey.
make a stank face and then a smile, and I like to pretend that it was my answer that made. And then you don't feature it because you're like, I think that's funny, but I don't know if other people will like that. Did I clock it? Is that true?
That's hilarious. It's
I
very,
mean,
very funny.
You definitely clocked something. I don't know if Chelsea has ever outright reacted to anything you've written, based on previous conversations. But this could have been the time.
She's reacted to things I've said. Look, just like the hair gets better incrementally, so does making Chelsea laugh. That's probably part of the drag mitzvah, to be honest.
And I've got to tell you, getting Chelsea to laugh is one of my favorite things in the world. It's why I'm so glad that I'm pretty good at it. But a lot of people feel that way. A laugh from Chelsea does always feel like it means something. You know, it feels like a deer looked you in the eye in the middle of a forest. Like, it's a mystical thing. Like, this is someone who has made me laugh so many times. If I can make them laugh once, like, it means something, because that's what Chelsea adds to our lives.
I mean,
And
I've heard her laugh
how
at me.
lucky are we that some of us can add that to hers?
She's definitely laughed at me, so I kind of understand.
Take it where you can get it, baby.
Right.
That's just, I mean, it's a laugh is a laugh is a laugh.
That's
I mean,
how
Yeah,
loud.
no,
that's,
absolutely. Like, don't get all up in arms about whether it's Pfizer or Moderna. Just sit there and take it.
I was gonna say that's how Robby gets things stuck into him. He just sits there and take it, and I am just gonna sit here and take it.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay, that implies a lot more passivity about me than I think is actually true, but I'll let you go with it for the punchline.
I was talking about the decorating.
Oh, okay, cool. Then never mind. Carry on.
So you'd say, as a decorator, you're more verse?
As a
shit.
decorator, I would say, ooh, you know what? I think I lied when I met my husband, and I was like, it's so nice to meet you. I've never had an opinion in my life. And then I got into an apartment, realized what a blank canvas it was, and became a dominant decorative top. Most of the design in this place, with the exception of this wall, is me. And frankly, I'm spinning it around so that you can see, like, that gray wall with the fake top stripe. That is tasteful AF. And I made that happen. When I met my husband, I shit you not, when I met my husband, Rudy Scala, he lived alone in an apartment with 3 recliners. There were 3, both ends of the sofa from Bob's Discount Furniture and the matching 1.5 seat wide cuddler that actually went on to live at Chelsea's apartment.
That's true.
But
Mazel,
when I
mazel.
met Rudy, 3 recliners for 1 person. He had so many places to recline. And I had, if I'm honest, I had never known comfort like that, and I fell really hard into it. Because I didn't come from a recliners kind of house, and there he was with enough for like him in each leg.
Oh, see you there. You like to do that. Oh, are you a gravy Italian, Suzette Veneti? I'm not a reclining person. You're you're more of a wandering Jew than a reclining Jew. I see. Also, while you're laughing,
well, that's my real laugh.
Let me
did it.
I did it. Let me take a second to say you said you were a decorative dominant top.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a doily?
Yeah. Okay, you know what?
Oh,
That's
shit.
solid. That's solid. That was.
Thank you.
That was excellent. If you had said that back to me in a crowd, lots of people would have laughed and you would have felt like the shit, and it would have been right for a second. So, like, whatever brought you there, keep going to that place.
A lot of drinks and some. Oh, I did throwback numbers today. You asked how brunch was. Let me tell you.
Ooh.
I didn't.
What is a throwback number to you? Because I'm so afraid that we are different ages.
Okay, I didn't think it was a throwback number. I thought that it was something from my high school. And then Helen Heels, you don't know her, but Chelsea does, gets on the microphone and she's like, "Oh, this is from like so long ago MySpace existed." And I'm like, "So did we. What do you like? That's music." I did Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne.
Oh shit! I forgot about that movie though, or that song. That's a good song.
Thank you.
That's a
And then
It
I did
a terrible movie.
I did the Kygo remix of Hot Stuff by Donna Summer.
Hot Stuff.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
okay.
a great song.
So yeah, but
Did
like
you dress
Hot
as a
Stuff is
firefighter?
throwback.
No.
How did you dress up for Hot Stuff? I need to know this.
Sequins. I tried to stay within the era of the song.
I have heard of sequins, yes, but what color?
Actually, they were mermaid colored, so like blue, purple, green.
Ooh,
All right.
I'm on board with that.
I'll have to send you a video.
Oh god.
Yes, please.
Send it to him.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
send
my
you
God.
things.
Send it to the show account so that we can both see it. That's at WWTS Live on Instagram. I can't stress this enough. WWTS Live on Instagram. I love this beverage.
And when you go to WWTS Live on Instagram, is there like a link tree that people can find you on all the platforms?
There is a link tree. It's
Funny
in our bio.
you should ask.
What?
That's right. I said funny you. Funny you should ask. It is in our bio, and you can find all kinds of fun stuff there. Yeah, I have nothing more to say about that. Say something new now.
Okay.
Why are you on mute? Oh, there it is. Okay, I understand.
Chelsea was on mute.
No.
No, I thought for a second that you were on mute, but I understand now that there are 2 cameras.
Oh yeah,
I'm just very new at this whole showbiz thing,
Right.
everybody.
This the audience doesn't know about this one that I'm gesturing to. That's so the guests can see me, and then this one is so I can see them or they can see. Yeah, this is so the audience can see me.
Okay, what's wild is that okay. So I know you're in front of a green screen now, but the first time
What?
you invited
No.
me on your show, I had never gone on the Twitch stream and actually seen what was streaming. So I really thought this was a podcast where you just sat in front of that wall the whole time, and I was like, who watches this? But I understand now what it looks like, and now I get why people watch it.
I
But I
ask
thought for a
myself that
second that
every
it was just
single
like-
week. Every single week I do this show, I'm just like, who watches this? And I'm constantly seeing the numbers fluctuate between 5 and 7, and it's just like, let's just stay at 7. Let's
Ma'am.
keep those 7.
Ma'am,
When you said constantly watch the numbers fluctuate, I really thought you were going to say plummet, and I don't know why.
we occasionally have a lot of viewers.
I mean, hey, you know what?
I just
the
like to
fall
give
from
it-
7
I
to
know.
5 can
I like giving you shit because you
I-
can handle it.
It's because my show's older. I didn't work as hard. It just happened.
That's
You guys put a lot of.
based on the metaphor from earlier. That sounds like one of those I didn't know I was pregnant things.
That's what I was going for. Yeah. I just was walking around and I was like, oh, a show. Oh, I didn't even know. Oh my God,
Oh,
what do we
wild.
do? Yeah, and now it's 40. This is my Obama episode. It's 44.
Aw.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Oh, that's so exciting. It's middle-aged now.
like me.
Oh my God. Oh
I've
my
always
God.
thought so.
I know, that's awesome. Okay, well, I think we've talked about our show now. Who wrote what? Do you have a question, Suzette? What?
No,
What?
I was going to
We
promote
just
your
got
show.
a follower.
I know, I saw that notification too. It's very
Oh.
exciting. Thank you for following. Suzette was on the show. We need to bring Suzette back for sure. Suzette, we'll bring you back
do.
on the show.
Well, thank you.
Who Wrote This Shit, you guys, is live on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And you can follow
We're
us at
everywhere.
WWTS Live. It's
On
very
everything.
fun. On everything. And you can
Yes.
play along during the show and we can feature your answers and all that stuff. It's really, really fun.
And I want to stress that if you miss it on a Monday, like ideally someone would want to watch it
Oh, yeah.
live so they can contribute. But if you miss it and you still want to check it out, it exists on YouTube. So check
It's
it out
all on
on
YouTube.
Yeah, check it out on.
Every episode is up on there.
If
and
you
can
can't watch it
back
on a
episodes.
Monday, watch
Yeah.
it on a Thursday and still send some coin in.
Yeah. Watch it on a Monday. Watch it on a Tuesday. Watch it at supper time.
Oh my God.
Do it. Do the rest. You know you want to. You can feel
No.
it in your bone.
I know.
You can
I'm-
feel it in your bones.
I can't.
You can't.
Yeah, that
my
Bagel
God.
Bites theme song takes me somewhere.
As a librettist, what would be the
Yeah.
words before the Bagel Bite theme song?
I mean, if Bagel Bites were a musical, what would be the line before the theme song? I probably, ladies and gentlemen, take your seats. The show's about to start, because how could you not open with that song?
Please silence your cell phones.
Yeah, absolutely. Unwrap any lozenges, or if you've got some Bagel Bites with you, why not? We know they're acceptable at all times.
Oh my God. Where is this conversation going? Suzette, thank you for having us.
Thank you for
Yes,
being here.
thank you so
Thank you as always to
much.
both of you, and I will tune in tomorrow. And I love you both, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
And I have a video to send.
Love.
I have a video to send to one of you because I had some very natural hair.
Yes, and because one of us isn't so rude.
Oh, that's not me. Okay.
I know.
Love you.
Love you,
Bye.
friend.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, viewers, their information was below them on the screen. I think this side, their information was below them on the screen. Send them some coin, give them a follow. Also, above my pretty little head is the information for Stab Comedy Theater. Give them a follow, send them some coin. We're still in a pandemic, and we're bringing you all this content because we care, and we're just making art so you can enjoy it. So there it is, right there. I don't know how high, but send it. Okay, cool. And with that, we're going to get to my first interview guest. I am so excited to have her. Let me pull up my little introduction that I wrote. You can catch her here in a couple minutes, but you can also catch her tonight if you're in the Sacramento area at the Sunday Showcase, the Badland editions. You can find her album on Apple Music. Please help me welcome to the show Sacramento artist, Sia Envy.
Hello, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey, those two were funny. I'm definitely going to tune into their show.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a good show. And, you can catch them here. Well, at least Chelsea every week. But, yeah, they have a good show, and it's a fun time. So.
Absolutely. It was dope.
And sometimes Apple's on it, and so that's kind of fun because you know her.
Oh, I love me some Apple.
Oh, who doesn't, right?
My darling Apollonia.
Yeah. Oh, my God. She's great. But so are you. What have you been up to during the pandemic?
I've been writing a lot of music and performing here and there. Like when Mercury show was open at Capitol Garage, I would go every other week or so, or probably once a month if I could, to just go out and see everybody because, all of us missed each other during this pandemic with us being so used to being with each other every week.
Absolutely, yeah. What's it been like performing in shows during the pandemic?
It was different. It was very different, but I can say that I was grateful just to be able to be close again, because I suffer from depression and PTSD and shit. So when I get attached to people, it's kind of hard to separate. So not being able to be with the people I was used to being with every weekend, sometimes more than one time a week, was weird.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it becomes your family, the performers that you perform with.
Oh, definitely. Even some of the ones that you don't know from the beginning, they later grow on you. But just you start thinking about everything like, hey, remember when that one person gave me a bad stare? I missed that stare. I'm so lonely.
That sounds like Chelsea, actually. Sometimes she gives me stares, and sometimes I don't know if she liked me from the start, but I've just wormed my way in like a parasite to her heart.
Hey, I mean, we're all different. Everyone has their reasons, especially a lot of the time when we have, like, I realize with older queens, it takes them a minute to get used to people, especially like the newer queens coming up. They're like, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, no, right.
See what their motives are.
Absolutely. And it's something that I talked to Apple about, actually, because when I met her, and I don't blame her, and I try to tell her that I do the same thing in the comedy realm, where you meet somebody and they're like, hey, I have big plans. I'm going to produce a show and it's going to be amazing and I'm going to be amazing and everyone's going to be amazing in this show. And you're like, whoa, slow down. Let's see if you make it past 3 months. Like, you might flame out because a lot of people do.
Right. I mean, it's always good to keep big confidence, but I'm a person, like, I've been around the scene since 2012. I used to perform in Monique Moore's cast when she had my rest in peace to Sasha Envy, Foxy. That was my best friend down there. So that's how I even came to the community, to get to know everyone. But it's definitely a journey.
Absolutely.
It's different.
Can you tell, because I don't think we've ever mentioned her name on the show, can you tell the audience who Monique Moore is and what she means to the Northern California drag community?
If you have never heard of Monique Moore, Google her. She has done so much stuff. She has a lot of Moore children. If you go to local drag shows, and and a lot of the Moore girls are hers, like Jamila and stuff like that. So, but if you Google her, Monique was a great individual, you guys. She was very different. You know what I'm saying? She's very upfront. She was sweet, but she would let people know what it was.
Yeah.
Then, you know what I'm saying? It changed, and then she passed away suddenly, and it was really shitty. It was a really shitty situation. But if you never met her or heard of her, go look her up. She was on she met Paula Abdul, like a lot of great shit. She done a lot for the drag community. A whole lot for the drag community.
Yeah,
so shout out to her.
I'm thinking sorry, go ahead.
I was like, rest in peace.
I think we might have mentioned her name briefly because I had Aurora a lot more on the show, and so
right. And Aurora's dope.
Yeah, Aurora's amazing, and that's one of Monique's children. So I think no, grandchildren. Yeah,
the Morris family was big. When I used to hang out with Monique, she used to talk about how many different ones, and then some of their kids have kids, and the whole that back when the houses were a thing. It was still in at the time,
Mm-hmm.
They're keeping it. The Moores are definitely keeping the house thing going because it kind of broke off. When I first came to Sacramento scene, there was houses, you belonged to certain people, and they were mothers to you. Like, if anyone ever seen Pose, they explained the whole house thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, it was definitely very much not really cliquey, but family, like you said in the earlier thing.
So did you when you started, were you part of a family?
Oh yeah. My first time coming out, I was petrified when I first came to freaking Faces and seeing how live everybody was. I come from Del Paso Heights, is urban as shit. I'm an urban person. Like, I'm the nicest one in my neighborhood. So it's like weird when you go to a place that you've never been and you just see everyone is just so free and out there. And I'm kind of like this shy person, but I felt loved by everybody. My best friend Foxy was the first one to approach me. She's like, "Who's your mother?" I'm like, I gave her my mom's real name because, like, I don't know anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "No, like, whose house are you in?" I'm like, "I live with my mom." Which, it was like, you know, really family oriented. I met Taryn back then. That's when I first met Taryn, when I was like first 18.
Oh,
and
wow.
she hosted the shows at Bojangles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was her, Malay. Like, I've been around for a lot of the people that have been here and who left and came back and passed away. I've been around, just in the background.
Well, sometimes in the foreground too, but
Yeah. I try to stay in the background. I like to be out with everybody, but I try to like stay in the background when I'm not performing. I try to just, you know, I want to be seen, not really heard when I'm not on stage. You see each other, you say hi, you greet, hang out for a little bit, and then, you know, keep it fresh and keep moving. I try not to overdo anything or put myself in the middle of stuff because I don't know nowadays.
absolutely fair. And I always mention anytime drag family comes up that I'm lucky that I have my own little drag family, like people that mentored me and have been there for me. And
yeah, it's definitely a good thing because not to be funny, my real family sucks. The community has been my community.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to music, I won't do stuff with certain people because I'm letting them know, like, hey, this is going to the community. I'm going to go perform this with my people. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what we have a good time in life. You feel me? I'm not going to be bothered with all the extra stuff. Like, that community knows how to have fun. They know how to stick together. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of positive leaders out there, like the Mercuries and the Apples. After Hours, the show, After Hours. Mm-hmm. I had never been. I've heard about it for years. I went one time. Oh my God. You would never believe how much talent was up in there. Like, I was flabbergasted when I had went the night that Myles and them had did Backstreet Boys. It was like Clive Max and like 3 others. And it was dope. It was like really dope. And I got to know them after that. It's just like, you know, everyone's accepting and loving, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's where I started at After Hours, because that's where if you're in Sacramento and you want to start performing in drag, that's where you have to start.
Right. After Hours is definitely the shit. I love that place. That's the first place I actually rapped.
So speaking of your rapping, you have an album, which is not a normal. I want to say to the viewers, in case they don't know, not every drag queen puts out a rap album. So, what was it like recording it?
It was actually one of the best things I could have discovered. I've always had a thing for music and always rapped and wrote music. A lot of my music dates back, like, way back into my teen years. I have stuff written. So it's more so building the confidence from performing in front of the crowds, and the you know, sometimes they can be crucial. It gave me the confidence to learn how to love myself even more. And so I start putting that into my music. I start putting my emotions into my music and the stuff that I feel that I can't express or change in the world into my music. And so it's my therapy session. It's my notebook. So it's different, and I have to get used to certain things, but it's pretty dope. I recommend anybody who has musical talent or feel like they want to sing, go out and buy a cheap mic and connect it to your laptop. Start writing. You know what I'm saying? Especially during quarantine. Suicide was almost an option at one point for me. Excuse me. I've been through a whole bunch of stuff. So it's a good way to cope and deal with your stuff, you know?
Yeah. So you mentioned suicide was an option, and so would you say music really helped you get past that?
Oh yeah, musical therapy, writing my problems out. I mean, I go to counseling too, because I mean, I feel like everyone can use a little therapy sometimes, you know?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that music has been my number one go-to. Like, it's been there.
I'm really glad that you have it, because we sometimes mental health comes up on the show, and we talk about how important it is to realize and accept and identify that everybody needs help. And it's funny because in 2020, like, the whole world kind of finally realized, like, oh my gosh, mental health is a thing. And a lot of people were out there like, yeah, it's been a thing the whole time. You're just noticing now.
It has been a thing the whole time, definitely. But I do see that, like, for instance, Taraji P. Henson, she has her Facebook. I was faithfully watching her Facebook watch show about mental health. And it actually helped me and made me go talk to my own therapist. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, this is different. But it took for me to see it first. Among my community where I'm originally from, like, African-American people don't really, your family doesn't tell you about therapy, you know? It's really kind of not frowned upon, but not talked about either, you know, depending on where you're from. So it's just like, okay, I'm just stuck with all these feelings. What do I do with them? And then you go to therapy and you get to talk to someone that's different, that doesn't know you, who can't judge you. You don't really, at this point, I'm in quarantine. I don't see my counselor. We talk over the phone. And I feel like she's one of my good friends.
Absolutely. I think that's great. I think when you have a relationship with a therapist like that, that's really good. So how do you overcome that? If your community doesn't, I'll just go ahead and say it because I can, because it's okay.
Oh yeah,
but if
100 all the time, be honest.
What I was gonna say is it's a very white thing to just say, oh, I'm gonna go to the therapist, right? It's very accepted in white communities and white culture. So how do you overcome that? And then do you do anything to how do I want to put it? Maybe pay it forward to try to promote it so other people within your community are more open to it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's not all seeing each other. I see a lot of people post like sad stuff, like, oh, I'm not feeling like myself, I'm lonely, I'm tired of being alone, or I'm feeling suicidal. So I will take it upon myself to, even some people I don't know, they just recently added me. I seen this one girl, I'm gonna use her as an example, I'm not gonna put her name on blast, but she was having it like really bad. And so I see her post and I'm like going about my day, and I kind of scroll back and I'm like, let me reach out. And just because I was just feeling like this, you know what I'm saying? So I went in her inbox and kind of gamed her up on like, hey, if you're feeling bad, if you ever need to talk to somebody, I know you don't know me really well, but you can always DM me. You could talk to me. Also, there's free therapy out there. No matter what insurance you have, they have places that will help. If you need someone to talk to, or if you're not feeling good about yourself. And then I asked her about music and just try to kind of create a conversation. And she was like, thank you. I really needed that. And I'm like, yeah, that's our job as humans. You know what I'm saying? We should be there to pick each other up, not laugh at each other, not kick each other when we're down and tease each other for what we don't have like the other person. It's about building and growing together.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes people need to know that it's okay to grow together, because
it's okay to make mistakes. That's what people need to know. I've made so many mistakes and I'm super critical on myself and super hard on myself, but I realize I'm not living if I'm not making mistakes because I'm living in fear. I'm staying in my house. I'm not doing anything because I'm scared. Oh, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to mess up. I'm 30 now. You know what I'm saying? Like all these little stupid things that we let our brain generate to us starts stressing us out, and we're like, okay, we're forgetting the purpose of being alive. You know what I'm saying? My purpose to be alive is to love and to be loved. I want to love everybody and I want love back. If it doesn't work out, I'm gonna go my separate way. You go yours, and have a nice day. That's peace. Peace on earth. That's the only way it could be generated.
That's a great way to look at it. I was gonna try to tie it back to rap. Did you feel that way before rap, that it was okay to make mistakes before you started writing?
No, I was very hard on myself. One thing that the music does for me is it almost was like an outer body experience in a sense. Like it's me, but it's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's my conscience or something. Like when I'm going through stuff, I'll listen to certain stuff that I wrote when I was in a real shitty mood, and it will pick me up like, hey, I've been through worse. Let me get the hell up out of here and get myself together. I don't got time to be sulking, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm counseling myself in a way. I'm licking my own wounds in a way, because I can't admit it regularly like everyone else. in the mirror, or I can't make that conscious decision to do. But once I do it on a song, if I say it in my music, I manifest it. And I listen to my music, you know, because I'm editing it and stuff. And then it kind of helped me believe in myself more, if I say so.
No, I think that's great. I'm so glad that you found it. I wanted to know, because I am not, I don't have any skill to write or perform live music. Do you have a favorite song of yours? Or is that like asking you to pick between children?
I have a favorite song from this new project of mine. And it's actually not even a rap song. It's kind of like alternative back in the day, kind of like No Doubt vibes a little bit. It's with me and my husband, and it's called Where the Hell Were You? And it's talking about where the hell were you when I really needed you? Not when I was ready to hang out and go drink and have fun, but when I needed someone to talk to and I was alone, where were you? And it's kind of like a more of a alternative rocker melody. I love all different styles of music. I don't perform it now. I don't perform all different styles, but I dip and dabble, but overall I'm into hip hop and, you know, the Megan Thee Stallions, but baby, do I love me some country, some rock, some alternative. I love music as a whole.
Different music takes you different places.
Oh, absolutely.
I think. I don't know if you want to relax to, you know, like grunge rock. Like it's not going to help you relax.
Like, no, I'll be in the shower banging my head up against the wall.
Right. Yeah. But there's a time and place for it, you know, and like if I'm out jogging, I have a jogging playlist and it helps me finish jogging. You know, sometimes I'm tired and that the right song hits that playlist and it's like, all right, I'm going to go hard for the next 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Cause I know this song is that long and I'm going to give it that.
Absolutely. And see, that's what my counselor had said to me. I had told her about the music writing thing. I'm like, you know, I don't really open up to people. I won't call anyone. I'll just shut the phone off and be in here like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. She was like, well, you know, if music is your only outlet, obviously it makes you happy and it's releasing the happy chemical. So you're not as depressed as you were before. So do everything that you love to do. She was like, keep doing what you love because it's going to continue. They diagnosed me as bipolar depressant. And this was like recently. Okay. And I don't really talk about my shit like that, but she told me, she was like, if this makes you happy, do that. And I'm like, yeah, because I keep holding myself back because I feel like, hey, I'm not going to be good enough. I'm worried about what people would think, you know, instead of doing it for, hey, I love this. I don't care if I'm 30 now. If I shouldn't be doing music and I should be doing something better with my time, but it's about me. This is my life. This is my journey. And I should be able to do whatever the hell I want. And people should leave me alone for that. Absolutely. Either you rock with me or you stay away, right?
I mean, literally, they can't rock with you because you're not performing rock. But I get I get what you're saying. Like either they move to your groove or they don't.
Right. Either we're gonna coexist and be happy together, or we're not gonna deal with each other when we're upset.
Absolutely. Do you ever write rock songs? Just because you said you wrote like an alternative.
Oh hell yes.
Yeah.
I wrote a song called Psycho. That's like one of my go-tos when I get upset. Where the Hell Were You? I have a song called Hunted. I think I have like one more. I can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, I have all of that stuff is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Okay. I have like 4 albums out all together on there. And I started recording back in October.
Wow.
And I've put 4 out. And I learned after my first one though, Black Sheep, which is like, it's kind of like the mixtape before the serious album when I switched stuff over. Sure. So you can hear the difference in the quality, but yet again, I was doing it just to, you know, put my music out there, share my music. People get to hear the growth over time and the mixing and stuff like that. But this last project is 20 songs on there. It's a little bit of everything. There's hip hop, there's sad music where I'm singing, there's freaking rap, there's rock, there's everything. It's a one big old masterpiece of me, I guess. That's why I call it Beautiful Nightmare, because that's what I feel like my life is.
But you know, that's such a realistic way to look at it, and that's so great because things aren't always perfect or always amazing. And if you can say your life is a beautiful nightmare, you're finding the beauty in it.
Right. You
So-
gotta treasure the good, and man, if the good outweighs the bad, or even sometimes when it feels like the bad is outweighing the good, hold on to those good things that you do have and build off of them.
Well, how do you know something is good if you've never experienced the bad? You know,
Right.
You got to.
Very true.
You got to take both, because you only can appreciate one when you have the other. So
Absolutely. Balance.
so much balance. It's so needed. So
Right.
So you perform your own songs when you perform in drag shows.
Yes. For the most part, tonight I will be lip singing to one of my own tracks. That's a mix of like my fast songs that I can shake my behind to, of course, because that's what I love to do. And then I'm doing a song by Kelly Clarkson, because Texas is going through it right now, and that's my way of a tribute. It's a quick song, but yeah, overall I rap at the clubs. I've rapped at Faces the last couple of weeks, and I will be rapping more in the future. I'm going to keep working on my stuff behind the scenes so I can definitely get better. And believe it or not, I smoke cigarettes.
Oh, no. Are you...
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. So to me, I feel kind of blessed that I'm able to sound how I sound while I'm quitting and I'm in the process of easing, but damn, it's hard,
Yeah.
But for me to get the sound that I have right now with smoking still, I'm like, God, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Creator, thank you.
And then you're like, can you also send me some Nicorette? Like, thank you, Creator. Send me the Nicorette, and thank you for letting me sound this way, and I want to keep sounding this way. What's it like to lip sync to your own song?
To me, it should be fun, because I have fun when I'm out there dancing to Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, it's going to be a little different because it is me. Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion have been like my stage spirit animals for the last year or so. But it's going to be different because it's me, but who better to do than yourself? Show the world who you are.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in a sense, it makes it better because I can dance more.
Right.
It's hard to dance and rap and try to figure out what parts to say, what parts not. I'm still building into that part of the artistry. And I've gotten my hit and miss shows to where I'm like, hey, yada, 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 I got most of the song out. And then I have to remember, hey, you got to dance. Stop right here, let the chorus play, and do something, because you're still a performer, So it's about finding my balance between doing drag and being an artist, because I don't want to rob from either,
Absolutely.
That's what got me there. I'm going to stick to it, and that's what I want to do,
Yeah. So how do you connect to drag and to drag culture personally?
Like I said, my best friend Foxy, we met when I was really young. How old was I? I was living on Marysville, so I had to be like maybe 7 or 8. Foxy was a little bit older than me. I say roughly 15, and our families ended up meeting each other because my cousin moved into her building. And so Foxy would always be over there laughing and being loud, being herself. And she had transitioned over at the time. This time, I'm still kind of a little kid, not really knowing the difference, not judging. But I always thought Foxy was funny. So we later crossed paths, and my dad and her mom's dude had gotten into it, and he had been hitting Foxy's mom, and my dad messed the dude up. And so Foxy's mom and Foxy and me, we all became close. We used to see each other at the bus stop and stuff. We kind of had similar lives. So she was performing at the time when I came around, and the twins, my cousins, I don't know if everyone know them, Demario and DeAndre, they were older than me, and they were the ones that wanted to go to the club. So when we met everyone and saw drag and all that, I was just like, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on? Hold on. Oh, this girl is doing a Beyonce song. Look, I do this at home. We recorded ourselves because I had went to school for dancing. We recorded ourselves doing my little projects and stuff. So we had already been lip singing and doing videos, like well before I even decided to go to the club. And once I seen that, I'm like, oh, hell no, this is fun. How do I sign up?
So you saw your first show and you kind of got hooked.
Well, yeah, I danced in Monique Moore's little, you know how they do the mid little break, right? And they let people hit the floor and they let people twerk off or whatever.
Right, the contest.
Beyonce Run the World came out, and I went out there and slayed it as the big bitch that I am.
You know what? That is the way to do it, though. Like, if you can command the whole room,
and why not? So what goes into preparing for a drag show for you?
Oh Lord, I really don't want to complain because I know a lot of the people who have to do like drag to the ultimate with the pads and stuff. I feel for y'all. I did the Miss Faces pageant and I had padded, right? Oh my God. If I had to do that at every show, I'm telling you now, you would see less of me.
a lot more background.
Oh my God, that is so, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. And then I'm already big, so I'm already sweaty and stuff. I'm like, I'm sweating off the makeup, trying to get dressed.
Just trying to get, trying to get dressed.
Yeah, but you gotta, I normally prepare my bag like 2 days ahead of time. I start putting stuff to the side. You gotta have fresh tights, or if you're a fishnet person, then you gotta make sure your wigs is combed out. Gotta make sure you got extra outfit in the bag. That's what my thing used to be. I know I'm big and sometimes I'll be wearing little onesies and shit. And every now and then I may be bloated. So if something tears, I gotta have a backup fit. I can't walk around like everybody else.
But you said a couple of really important things. One, always have an emergency fit, packed away, because you don't know what will happen.
Man, I didn't had it happen a few times.
I won't name names, but it happened at brunch today, and it happened to a queen that has been performing long enough that she knows, and she was ready, and it wasn't a big deal. But you got to be ready for that. You got to be ready for
wardrobe
malfunction.
And then you also have to expect the unexpected. Sometimes shit is going to happen. You're going to lose a wig here and there.
Yeah.
There's been performances to where you couldn't tell me anything, and then next thing you know, they're with that wig, and I'm like, oh my God.
The other
How
thing.
do you recover from this?
How did you recover from that?
I picked the wig up off the floor and put it on my hand and start swinging it. And then I put it back on at the end of the song. And then I left the stage.
And what was the audience's reaction?
Oh, they actually loved it. It was so weird. Because me, I'm self-conscious. I'm like, okay, I've been swinging these wigs too long. The edges are starting to be missing. I'm like, I look like Queen Latifah from Set It Off. I look like I'm up in here about to pull off a drive-by. Like, Lord, watch these people boo me. Like, that's what was going off in my head. Like, I fucked up. Like, I ain't coming back for a while. And then once I heard them scream, I'm like, well, just pick that motherfucker up and go on. So if they like it, I love it. And let me put my shit back on. I'm still embarrassed and I got to get out of here. Bye, people.
Oh, my God, I would do the same. You said something that another thing that I don't know how many people do it and don't do it, but I think it's nasty. Wash your tights. Have some fresh tights. Like,
yes.
Let's not
they
use
start
tights.
To smell like sweat and pneumonia.
Ugh. You said Mercury's do? Oh, I thought you said that. I said that. Okay.
Hey, if she brings some shit, Mercury ass is next. That's my bitch though, because you know what? She is so freaking weird. Like, I do not understand her half of the time. I would look at the stuff that she's doing. I'm like, bitch, there's something wrong with you. And then she can go out there and do a one-word song and and they just go up for it. I'm like, bitch, had that been me, they would have thrown stones, sticks, and fucking cabbages. But because it's Mercury and you're fucking cool and weird like that, you can do that. I think that is so dope.
Yeah, I mean, we all have different ways of performing, and
right.
And she has her way, and it works. Like
it is so
works.
I tell her all the time, I'm like, I disagree with damn near everything that you do, friend. Like, you're freaking creepy to me. I would never do that.
Oh.
And then I'm like, but it looks fucking dope, and the audience takes to it. Like, I'm like, friend, you don't understand how dope you are.
She laid her leg hair the other day.
I was just talking to her about that on the phone before I got on the interview with you.
And it was like, I don't know if the audience is going to appreciate this, but you put so much effort into it. I would never do it myself, but God bless you, Mercury. You did it. And like, I think some people really liked it. I don't know if everyone could. It was dark, so I don't know if everyone could see it.
That's what I would call only Mercury.
Yeah.
That's the only Mercury moment.
Yep. No one else is
Like,
trying that.
I look at her half the time. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? I'm about to do this. Let me try this on your face. I'm like, no, bitch, do it on you first. And she'll do it in the work. I'm like, you're still not doing that on me because it's not going to look right on me, but you look clean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, all the yeahs. So what's the longest that you've been in drag for a day?
I would say when I did Mama's Making Bacon. That's a show put on with SAC LGBT Center and Taryn and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That they have an event that we did. I did that in the morning time. It was like mimosas and drag. They have all the freaking mimosas. I am not a morning drinker, but I love to drink, so I have to watch myself. And then I drank one day, and then I had a show later that night in Reno, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had to go to Sequence Saturday the next day. So I basically got drunk that morning, stayed in drag the whole day, and freaking went to Reno that night, drank some more out there, stayed in drag overnight, washed my body and stuff, didn't wash my face, applied more makeup to it, and then went back out again. I'm like, oh, I'm never doing this again.
So you were in drag for a day and a half?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got stuck on the side of the mountain, girl. Oh my God. Me, Aurora, Eden, and who else was in the freaking car? It was me, Aurora, Eden. Was it Crystal Jelani? Lotus. It was another person in Teddy. We were all stuck on the side of the mountain on the way back from Reno, and we spent the night in the car by Donner Pass, and I was so petrified.
Yeah. By Donner Pass, like, things don't go well for people that stop there.
Man, I watch all the scary stuff all the time. Like, I watch this stuff, and I be in here talking all that mess. As soon as I got out there, I was like, is someone coming to get us?
Did the car break down, or what happened?
Yeah, the car cut off. The car cut off on us. And this is after we left Faces, Nevada. And it was like freaking maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. And it was like pitch black. And like the only lights you could see is the cars that would pass every now and then. And I'm like, oh my God, like something is going to get me. This does not work out well for me. Like, I was so panicked. And like I said, I always drink at Reno. We always hang out and have fun, and then we leave. And so I'm just like, I shouldn't have drank, because now I have to pee. And I'm not going to pee on the side of a mountain, because I'm not trying to get my woo-ha ate off by no bear or no coyote or no nothing. I don't know what's up here. Like, I just started thinking of like the show, I Can't Believe I Survived This.
I want that on a t-shirt. I didn't want my woo-ha eaten off by a bear. Because that is a life motto, you know?
Right.
No one wants that. And if you live your life not having that happen, I think you can call it a good one. I think you can call it a good life, because it would be a bad life the other way. Yeah. What's the most interesting venue that you've performed in?
Most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I went to Woo Circus. I like Woo Circus because it's really like a circus. It's different.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't really get to travel that much. I've been to like Reno and different little places and stuff like that, but out of venues, the most interesting one, like as far as like, is I would say Woo Woo Circus. It's really, you've been there, right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, you have to go when everything's open.
I know.
So cool.
I got to be in her virtual show last night, and I thought, this is so cool, but I really would like to see it in person.
Woo Woo's dope. I freaking love Woo Woo.
Oh, no, I just met her on the show, but she is dope, and I can't wait to meet her in person.
Oh, yeah. Woo Woo is like, and especially with the comedy, yeah, that would be perfect. You definitely should go down there.
Oh. Sometimes it's hard to do comedy. That's why I was wondering about like you doing like rapping your own songs for a drag crowd, because sometimes doing stand up for a drag crowd is not it. Like,
oh, you know they are. Now they're judgmental, bitch. We have to say that.
Well,
very
no,
judgmental.
and that's fine. Be judgmental, but it's like I feel like they come for a song, and if you talk too long, it's like, no, that's great, but like we want to hear.
Yeah, but
Britney.
it's I don't know. It's a certain way. Certain people kind of like that's why I like the way Taryn and certain people do it, because they're like, shut up, bitch, and listen, or get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks we gotta be cut and dry like that, but those are the people who have their audience tamed.
Yeah. She does know how
Not to be funny. You don't see them acting like wild buffoons, bitch, hitting backflips while you performing and throwing shit at you. You know what I'm saying? When Teddy, you know what I'm saying? When she was doing her thing, she had them Saturday motherfuckers trained, and it was a lot of straight people in that audience. And you know what I'm saying?
I do.
It was a whole bunch of different people.
And
she had their ass tamed.
Yeah.
Mercury. She has Capitol Garage good. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the host, I guess you could say. Apple After Hours.
Yeah.
You don't really problems there either. You know what I'm saying? It's all in. Everyone has this one thing about them when they all host. Everyone's different, but they have that one thing in common: the tameness of the audience. So maybe you should start testing bitches out.
Oh, you know what? I've never had to. I keep them tame. I'll host a show anytime. It's just when I try to do a long, like a 10-minute comedy set, like, this isn't the place. That's for a comedy club. But there was one time where we were doing a show, and this one woman was like, she was really drunk. And so she kept standing up. It was at Mango's, and she in the back room, and she kept standing up and like getting in the performance space, and then she would sit with someone. This was before COVID. Right before COVID, actually, the day everything shut down, and she'd sit over here, and then she'd get up and sit over here, and then she'd sit over here, and everyone was like, I don't know who she is, and I don't want her sitting with me. And we were at the very last number. I think it was going to be Taryn. And I turned her, and I don't yell at anybody on the mic, right? Like, no one's really heard me be mean. But I turned, and she saw my eyes, because I was about to let her have it.
You was about to let her have it?
Oh my God, in a way that nobody's heard me let anybody have it. Because I know I can do it. I just don't need to usually, because I smile, and I shrug my shoulders, and people stop to listen. That's how I have it tamed. But this lady saw my eyes, and she just slowly sat down with the look of fear. And I was like, okay, we don't have to do what we were about to do, because it was going to get ugly.
Right. Well, see, I used to have problems at certain times, like a few people when I first started Sequence Saturday. You know, I'm one of the bigger girls down there. Mm-hmm. And I dance with all y'all skinny ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I be out there with y'all, like, flipping and shit, but the lady had the nerve to complain and said that I look mean. And I'm like, well, bitch, if you was 365 pounds trying to keep up with all of them, you would look mean too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be able to smile at you while I'm doing all this now. Like, when I'm lip singing, yeah, but when I'm dancing, I'm going to look mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? It hurts.
Well, and I just want to say, if you're doing backflips, no matter how skinny I might look, I'm not doing backflips. So props.
I can't backflip. I could cartwheel.
You know what? I've never tried in heels. I can definitely cartwheel, but
you know what? I was scared, and I tried it in the grass, and it actually it's just the same as it felt when you first did it. I promise you.
Okay. I'm gonna try in grass.
Just go do it in some grass, so just in case you bust your ass, you fall in the grass. That's what I had to do.
Now, how tall are your heels? Because I wear 6-inch heels. I wear stripper heels.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. I'm already 5'10". Like, girl, no. I get my heels be like maybe a little bit like that thick at the thickest, but sometimes wedges. My shoe game is the worst part. I can tell you that. But guess what? I have LeBron James feet, and my toes and shit be hurting, and I'm heavy. I'm not gonna be walking and breaking my pieces like that. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get some comfortable shoes. I'll get some new outfits though. I'll definitely do the costume game, but the shoes, not my department.
That is my department. I am a shoe queen.
But a lot of girl, I be seeing hella the shoes that y'all be wearing. I be looking, Helen, freaking Apple, them damn come fuck me boots. I would love a pair of those.
Oh,
but it wouldn't be for the dancing.
You know what? I'll show. I'll be at the show tonight. I'll show you the shoes I wore today. Because
Oh hell yeah!
I don't.
You're
mine-
y'all crazy. I ain't
Yeah.
trying to break my neck like that.
I love my shoes. I love my shoes, and I'll wear them all day. Not right now because I'm wearing some
Now, when
shell
I get that
toes.
Target weight go, I may try out some other shoes because once you start losing that water weight, your feet go down.
Right? What's the coolest thing about doing drag?
Well, my favorite part of it would be the connecting with people, the audience. Connecting with people when you see people smiling because you're dancing and you're doing a song that they love. And it could be someone who had a breakup before they came to the club and they're just there to get shit-faced. And they stumble upon the shows and look, oh, someone made me feel better about myself today. There was this big black girl out there hitting it. You know what I'm saying? She was hitting splits and cartwheels. Like, oh, I've had so many people walk up to me like, you're an inspiration. I was told I was fat and I wasn't good enough. And I never knew that that's what that would be doing. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I fell in love with, that feeling.
That's so cool. It's so cool to hear you talk about it because it's such a love that you have for performing and for drag shows. But
yeah, absolutely.
What's the worst thing? Because we all know that there's something that we hate about it. What's the worst thing about doing drag to you?
Sometimes the audience members don't understand that we are humans.
Mm.
And all humans have what? Error. You know? We have those days to where we're not feeling at our best and we're out there giving our best. And we're like damn near dying on stage, and then someone will come be an asshole to you or treat you like a rag doll and want to snatch you around between them and all their friends for solo pictures when we can all get in one picture. You know what I'm saying?
Or
like stuff like that. You don't mind doing pictures and stuff, but if you're not feeling well or you hurt yourself on stage, people get kind of, she didn't want to take a picture with me. And I'm like, no, I didn't feel good. I don't mind. Don't make me sound stuck up or an asshole, but if I'm not feeling my best, I can't give you my best. I didn't hurt myself on stage. So, I can lean up a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to go across all of y'all. Can you guys come this way? It's about compromise, and we're all equal people,
Yeah.
They treat us sometimes like we're Britney Spears and the people we're performing, and I'm like, bitch, don't hold me to that standard.
Well, I mean, you keep putting out albums since October. They might hold you to that standard.
Hey, and guess what they gonna get? Me. I'm gonna always be the same person that I have always been.
That's all.
And it's because we're entitled to be whoever we want to be. Long as I'm not hurting people or disrespecting people, I should be able to be free, and so should everyone else. And that's what people need to learn how to do. Everyone will be happy and quit picking on each other if they just love themselves for who they was.
Yes, and I know we all love you, so I'm glad that you're being you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Because no one else can.
I'm glad that you're being you, though, because I didn't know who you were when I first met you, but I started seeing you like on all the pictures and stuff with everyone. And then one time I ran across you in person and you were hella dope. And I'm kind of like an anti-social person when I first come out. I'm like quiet and shit, like observant. And then I see you, you're like, oh, hey. I'm like, oh, I know who that is. And we talked a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. I like to get to know different people, and you're actually really dope. And I appreciate you having me on here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Before I let you go, and I want to let you go because you have the show to get ready for, I just wanted to ask you our rapid fire questions. Do you have time?
Absolutely.
Okay. You can answer as quick or as not quick as you want, but
okay.
Okay. Drag name that you didn't end up using.
Kalia.
Okay. Favorite wig color?
Blonde.
Same. What do you name your wigs?
No.
Yeah, no one does.
I just like hand me her. That's it. It's just her for all of them.
Yeah, I just descriptive titles really. This is an interesting one because you saw Chelsea earlier in the show. So
right.
I've done 44 episodes and only Chelsea and one other a woman comic, answered this question their way. Everyone else answers it my way. So when you put on a bra, do you clasp it in front and spin it around, or do you clasp it in back?
I leave the bra buckled and I pull it over my head.
We've had that answered. That to me makes sense. I don't understand class beginning back. You can't see and your arms don't go that direction.
That's doing too much.
Thank you. It's doing too much. Chelsea's being extra.
You gotta fight, especially if you big. You gotta fight your back titties too, and that's not cool. I ain't trying to be doing all that. Like, girl, can you scoop that in there for me?
That is another T-shirt. Don't fight the back titties. Okay. How high? I already kind of asked this, but how high is too high for high heels?
Well, the drag rules supposedly is never too high.
No.
But as y'all know, I can't meet them standards. So I could say no higher than the ones that I've been dealing with. That one thick size boot that I showed you is probably a good 4 inches, 4 inches.
I can respect that because I always wear a 6. I cannot wear a 7. I tried a 7 one. I thought I was going to die. And I was like, you guys are for looks only. Like, I will stand in you.
Right. Like, oh, girl, those look cute to stand there and not do shit.
Never perform in them. When I'm hosting, I might teeter out very carefully with somebody holding my arm, but I will never perform in them.
Oh, baby, I will walk out in tights. I will walk out in barefooted with tights showing on the ground, leaving flipper marks.
You got to do you. No one else can be you. And just like Mercury works for Mercury, if that works for you, leave the flipper marks. What's your favorite like show to perform in?
Is this post-COVID or?
Either way, whatever you want to answer.
That's really hard.
We can come back, or you can pass.
That's hard. I come back to that one.
Okay. What's your favorite venue to perform in?
Well, of course, I would say Faces, I guess you could say. And it's only because it's where I always was, I guess you could say. So I'm more comfortable.
Yeah, it sounds...
When I come over to Sidetracks, I'm kind of still shy, more so than when I'm at Faces, because I've rehearsed in Faces and done so much in there on off time, and then the whole Miss Faces thing. So I would say Faces.
That's where you said you met your family. So if that's where you met family, that's home. I get it.
Right. Real shit.
I get it. What's your favorite song to perform to?
What songs have I repeated the fuck out of that I've been told, like, hey, you can't do that anymore?
Right.
It would have been definitely some Beyonce. Probably Beyonce, Crazy in Love.
That's a good song,
I'm
though.
crazy in love with Crazy in Love. That's my go-to Beyonce song.
If you're going to play out a song, that's a good one to play out.
Right. Like, you know how if your CD or something messes up or they didn't get your music and they're like, pick a song, Crazy in Love.
Yep. The one that you got it down, you know it. You can do flipper marks in it. You can wear heels in it. You got it.
Right.
What is the craziest thing an audience member has ever said to you after a show?
One lady told me she wanted to hump my husband.
Oh, okay. All right. What did you respond with?
I laughed at her. This is before we got married. But she was so cool, though. Like, it was the way she said it that kind of took me by surprise. Not the fact that she wanted to. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's human nature, whatever. People feel whatever. So we're talking, and I'm like in the bathroom. This is in Faces Reno. And this is like, oh, that was last New Year's around that time. So we're all out there like hanging out. And after we perform, I go to the girls' restroom and she comes in there. And she's like, hey, is that dude with the hair your boyfriend or whatever? I'm like, yeah, that's my fiance, yada, yada, yada. She was like, I'm so glad that you said that's your fiance because I was going to try to take him home and fuck him. I'm like.
Okay. I mean, at least, you picked one that everyone else wants.
Like, okay. And, that's crazy.
And the confidence on this woman that she could just make it happen just because she wants it. Like,
oh, she said I was going to take him home and fuck him. I was like, okay.
He gets a say, ma'am. Like,
right. She was like, be glad. I'm like, okay, I am proud, but do I have to show him?
Right.
Like, I'm at a show right now. I shouldn't even be having this conversation with you.
Like, we talked about that last week. We did a dating advice episode, and it's like, don't bring drama when I'm performing to a show. Like,
right.
But I would say that lady brought it.
In every circus, they have to have that one clown that just has to do the most, right?
True. That's usually my job, is to be the clown. Who's your favorite?
And when they try to take your job, that shit irritates you, right?
That's when they get that stare and they get scared and sit down. No one's ever heard me yell. There's a reason. Who's your favorite LGBTQ activist?
My favorite activist?
Uh-huh.
I would say Ebony Harper from LGBTQ Center. She is a strong trans sister, and she be out there. I've seen her out there for the Stephon Clark thing outside of me even being around the club for a while.
Yeah.
I've seen her, like, she's down for everything. She's always out there. Always. So hats off to her, wigs off to her, lace fronts off to her. Like, I love that lady. She dope. She's the shit.
What's your favorite item on the gay agenda?
Ask that one more again.
What's your favorite item on the gay agenda?
I don't know what that question means, sadly.
That's okay. So conservatives always say that there's a gay agenda, and like people want like oh, gay people want like every child to like be taught by a drag queen. And so sometimes we like to ask it as a joke question. And so some people will be like, oh, mimosas. That's right. The best thing on the gay agenda. Or glitter everywhere.
I'd say just say like freaking drinking and partying.
You know what? That is something that
that's all I've been doing with everybody all these years.
It's better.
A second, my ride just texted me, dog. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely. I'll just say that that's something that the gay culture does better, is drinking and partying. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, why do you think so many straight people come down there? At Faces on, I don't know if y'all ever been to Faces on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Around the Sequence Saturday times,
yeah.
Baby, you better be able to be in between. You better be able to get with the movement of the people, because it was full of straight people.
Yeah.
It was like Stampede.
Right, it's like the Lion King. Like, where's Mufasa? Watch out,
man. But most of all, to see people mixing and mingling, not judging each other. Really, you don't really get that much shit as you would think.
Right.
The way they try to blow everything up in the media, like, oh. You know what I'm saying? It's not as bad as everyone thinks it is. Most straight people go have fun. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the gay community is dope. I feel like they welcome people. Sometimes I feel like they should fucking have limitations on who the fuck they allow down there. Like, bitch, y'all need to start regulating shit and putting people the fuck out the community.
I mean, so yeah, you're out here taking gay cards. Like, maybe if someone acts a fool, like.
Right. Like, no, they're very accepting to everyone, though.
You're on probation now. What's your favorite thing about the existence of brunch?
You said that my favorite thing about the what?
The existence of brunch.
Mimosas.
Yeah. Do you cook or bake?
Both.
Ooh, which do you like more?
Definitely cooking on the stove, because, bitch, bake can be too hot, girl. I stay in a little Cracker Jack box apartment. I am not trying to bake.
Unless when the power went out everywhere, I tried to see if I could bake, because I was like, that's the fastest way to get this apartment hot.
Hey, I had my little candles in my bedroom, and it lit up the whole house damn near.
Yeah. And I saw if you put a terracotta pot, it makes it warm, actually. Do you like DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yeah, me too. A lot. Not even close. If we're at the bar and someone's buying us shots after the show, what are we shooting?
Vodka.
What kind of vodka?
I like Grey Goose or Ciroc.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm with you. If we're this is important. Toilet paper, over or under?
Oh my God. Is that really a thing?
You'd be surprised. What's your answer?
Either way, I don't give a shit as long as I got toilet paper to wipe my butt.
Okay, that's an answer that I've learned is an answer. A lot of people care.
My friend does that. Like, turn my toilet paper over. I look like, bitch, if you want that toilet paper flipped, you're gonna do it yourself. I'm not going through all that.
So you just put it however it comes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever, flat, whatever. Hey, I don't know. I didn't know it was an order of operation shit. They didn't say directions.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it, do it.
No, people, this is a big thing. Like, so what we call you on this, like, people who don't care about their toilet paper direction, we call them toilet paper verse.
Oh, okay.
You'll let it go either way.
Toilet paper verse.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I care very much. It has to be over. I'll freak out if I'm like, no, that's stupid. Why would you put it under? It's hard to grab. Do you have a favorite drag queen?
I do. Mercury.
That's fair.
Mercury's my little pride and joy. I could go to her freaking thing. I can go to her fucking page, like, when I'm not doing drag, or, like, for instance, when I was kicked out. And I just know this bitch is going to do something to fucking make me laugh.
Who's your favorite drag king?
Clive.
It's a good choice.
It's Clive and Ryder, actually, equally. But I don't see Ryder so much no more.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk later.
Oh, and don't forget Big Knives.
Oh,
that
right
is
on.
my fucking A spoon coon. Sorry for forgetting you. If you watch this, do not cuss me out. That's my people's right there too.
Hey, if you remember someone's name, you didn't forget.
Right.
You got it. Oh, okay. This one is just for me and my self-esteem. Do you think I'm pretty?
When you're dressing to be pretty, yeah.
Okay,
when you're
I'll take
being
it.
crazy, I mean, I'm not gonna say you're ugly, but I love the way that you look with your blonde hair. I like the way that you look on your pictures that you be putting on Facebook.
Thank you.
I don't think that you're unattractive.
No, that was just a chance you could have read. You could have just been fake nice. You could have been real nice. You could have just said no, and we move on.
Right. Nah, I like to give details because, like, I'm not a spirit crusher, but like I said, I don't think that you ugly and nothing like that.
I'll take it. I'm putting that on a t-shirt for me. Last question. When this is all over and we go back to a normal, like a new normal, old normal, whatever normal, what's the first thing you want to do?
I want to get drunk without my motherfucking mask on, girl. I mean, I want to get so sloppy that our people be like, bitch, go home. You need to leave. I'm just like,
You're
I
like,
want to be
COVID's
the
over.
headache for once.
Well, I think we're getting closer as a world to that point. So hopefully soon.
I pray so.
That is all my questions, Sia. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, love. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you, and I'll see you tonight. I'm gonna be there.
Alrighty.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks. Mwah. Bye.
Okay, everybody, that was Sia Envy. Send her some coin. We're in a pandemic. Support her. Follow her on Instagram. Check out her album. I should have asked where you can get it, but I bet if you go to her Instagram, you can find it and you can figure out how to get it. And you should check it out because artists just putting out art during a pandemic is people who really want to make art, and that's something worth following and supporting. So thank you for that. Thank you to Sia for coming on. It was so fun to have her. And also, don't forget to support Stab above my head. Okay. And then with that, we're going to get to my next guest. Let me see. Okay. I was supposed to make something up. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and use what he told me. So this is a Southern boy who's done some time on the islands. He's an actor. He's a model. He's a dancer. He also dabbled in some stand-up comedy, and I'm excited to have him on the show and actually meet him. So please join me in welcoming Myles McGee.
What's up?
How are you?
I am, you know what? I was hungover earlier and thought I was going to feel like crap, but I feel real good right about now.
You know what? I'm going to say it's because of the glow of the show. I'm going to say the show helped you feel better.
that current show glow. I'll take it.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for hanging out for a little bit, and staying with us. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. What have you been up to during the pandemic?
Losing my ever-loving mind.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll tell you like this, that at the beginning of the pandemic, my family was real concerned for me because I am a people person. I usually would come home to my apartment to sleep and then leave, So the fact that I have been home for almost a year is crazy, and my family didn't think I could do it. My brother called my mom and was like, he's gonna be out all the time. But I'm asthmatic, so the last thing I need is a respiratory virus. You know what I mean?
Are like all the time asthmatic, or exercise induced, or cold induced?
It's, how do I put it? I'd say I have an attack every 3 months.
Okay.
But I'm just not gonna mess around. People that I know that are super fit have been having trouble, so just not gonna risk it for that biscuit.
You smart, yeah.
That's it.
I like that. Don't take dumb chances.
You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, Nah.
So you have some background in musical theater.
I do. So when I was younger, I didn't understand it. And then I saw Little Shop of Horrors.
Mm-hmm.
It is my favorite musical of all time, because I didn't realize that a musical could be an alien plant from space that eats people. So then I was way down. So when I lived in Hawaii for 6 years, and I did 13 shows. I was out there.
Really?
I got to be the voice of the plant at one point. I got to be RG2.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you did the shows, and did you go to Hawaii to do the shows, or you just happen to get there and then do the shows?
The second part. I went to Hawaii for college. I'm from Atlanta, and my idea of college was to go far the fuck away. And so 5,000 miles was as far as I could go. I had a full country and then a full ocean between me and home. But went for architecture, found out I hated it, and then started doing musical theater.
So is that what you majored in it?
I changed. So originally architecture, then I went to business with a theater minor.
Okay.
So that
all right.
you could have a little business savvy and placate the parents a little bit.
Well, I've never heard of anyone with a theater degree getting a job because they had a theater degree, so I think you did it right.
It's a sticker. No offense to anyone that has it.
But you still got the classes in, you did. And I guess if anyone has a theater degree, we have a contributor on the show that does, and he's not doing much with it. So
You're just gonna call him out.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna call him out. He's the last guest because I hate him, and he has so that way we can bump him if we ever need to. He has a theater degree, and I'm very not impressed with him. So. Yeah.
Well, I'll say first off, thank you for not hating me. I appreciate
I love you.
that.
I love you.
That spot. And because I did more business classes than theater classes, my thing was that I wanted to make up for the classes with experience, and it worked out that way.
I think that's the way to do it, because you get the experience, and it's like bartending school. Like, do you learn how to bartend in school, or do you do it on the job?
I'm so glad you said that. Because I bartend, and those classes look janky to me. I guess you can learn some things, but you can't learn, it doesn't teach you how to. One of my favorite skills as far as bartending is learning how to politely ignore people. You know what I mean? Once you've gotten 3 to 4 orders, you look down and no people exist. I'm not looking at you. You don't exist. And you can't say I'm being rude because I haven't said shit.
Yeah.
They don't teach you that.
You got your drink. I got to help somebody else. Excuse me.
Yep. That's it.
And you didn't tip well, so I'm going to...
Hey, can you, and also when they ask you, can you make this stronger, and then you make it the exact same way? Oh, it tastes so much better. I bet it does. Suck my nuts.
In the drink.
Exactly.
There's a straw. Please suck around them.
By all means.
This is it's weird to take it back to musical theater all of a sudden, but what's your favorite role that you've ever played?
Audrey 2 was cool because I wasn't ever on stage. Well, I'll say this. There's the sponsor speech at the beginning, and my speaking register is higher than my singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, I'd come out for bows, and when we meet people from the audience, they're like, "Who were you in the show?" And I tell them I was the voice of Audrey 2, and they didn't believe me because my speaking register is higher. That was a lot of fun. But probably my favorite was do you know Young Frankenstein at all?
I do.
Yeah, Mel Brooks, Frankenstein's monster and all that good stuff. So I played the monster. All my lines outside for one little piece in the middle, it's all just grunting. The monster's supposed to be 7 foot tall. I'm 6'2", so they had me in 8-inch platform boots. And I missed being 6'10". It was fun, and I had a tap number. It's absolutely crazy. Thought I was gonna break my leg, but you get used to it. I'm sure you can know. I was listening to the show. So 6-inch heels, you got it.
And because the sevens, I have some sevens, and they're cute. I love my 7-inch heels, but I do not wear them because they are death traps.
Well, it's funny because I actually I wasn't gonna do that show. A friend of mine was choreographing, and at that time, I was raising my money to move here to LA. So I didn't feel like I had the time to do the show because my friend wanted me to dance in the chorus. And then the person that was going to be the monster was scared that they were going to hurt their leg in those boots and dropped out. And so she reached back out to me and I'm like, well, for the lead, okay. It wasn't scary to walk in the boots, but when I got to that first dance rehearsal, I was fucking terrified. So I'm learning the tap and she goes, and then you turn, and I go, no. And she goes, yes. I had to carry a woman. I had to run upstairs. It was fun though. Like there's a part where I had to run out of the audience and then come through a back door of the theater. And this little kid, his mom was taking this little kid to the bathroom, and I like walked past and I just turned back and went, you, and he freaked the fuck out. And it's not my kid, so I did it.
No, I mean look, he had an immersive experience of the theater.
Exactly.
So,
something they'll never forget.
Right, and that affected him in ways that will be useful in some capacity. So you played the villain in Little Shop of Horrors, and you played a monster in Young Frankenstein. Do you feel like you're being typecast at that point?
I have never thought about that at all. Now I think about the fact that they're both green, maybe, which is cool because film and TV wise, like I'm always all-American boy next door, the best friend, the voice of reason. I don't get to play a villain too often, so it was really cool at that point to do that. You said something a second ago about giving someone experience, and I've only been in like drag once, and it was on stage for Wedding Singer the musical. There's a Tina Turner impersonator. There's all these impersonators. And so I'm fucking around in rehearsal, and the director came up to me. He's like, "You need to stop fucking around and learn how to walk in heels." Like, what? Because there was Mr. T, and then there was Tina Turner, and there was another guy that was like Jack, black dude that was Jack. So I was like, I'm not gonna be him, so I'm not gonna be anybody. But I was Tina, and at one point, this is in Hawaii. There's not a lot of black people in Hawaii. This older white man in the audience is looking at the program. And I could see him, I had a lull in the show to pay attention. And he's like looking for the black girl, doesn't see her. And he comes back to my picture, and I caught him right as he looked up and just put him a wink. And I will never freaking forget that, ever.
You gave that man a drag experience. That's amazing.
You'll never forget it.
And that's your only time in drag?
That's my only time in full drag.
Okay.
In quarantine, outside of losing my mind, I have started messing around with gender a little bit. Like, it's just been super fun. I make a lot of silly videos. So I was in a improv group at the beginning of quarantine, and it's a little different than in person. It was on Zoom. So to show a difference in character, we started using wigs. And so someone gave me this old person wig that didn't fit well. And then from that, my mom bought me 3 wigs. And then people just kept doing that. So now from August to now, I own 12.
12 wigs.
All different colors, strengths, curlies, and all that stuff. And it's just fun to change how I look, and it makes the character that much different. It's like, oh, that's not Myles, that's Samantha. Samantha does different things. It's been super fun.
Okay, so there are 3 things. This is so boring for the audience. Because there are just, no, not you, what I'm about to say. Sorry. You're great. What I'm about to say is boring for the audience. I'm so sorry, Myles. I just wanted to put a tab that did sound bad. I am so sorry.
We're good.
I want to put a tab.
Again.
I want to put a tab for you and me because there's things that would be boring for me to talk about with you.
Oh, I got you.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is boring for the audience because like I want to later on like when I message you and say thank you, we should remember to talk about your 12 wigs, being other people, and oh, there was one other thing. I forgot. I was gonna mention it. Maybe it'll come back. That's okay.
I hope it does. I'm way down.
I'll watch the footage back, but remind me to talk to you about those things because it would be boring for the audience, but I think we would enjoy it. So
I'm definitely gonna enjoy it, and I have a memory like a trap, so you're good. I won't forget.
Okay. All right. So, okay. What's the you do film acting as well? What's the difference between stage acting and film acting?
I had a really hard time transitioning from theater to film. First off, people tell me I have a decent voice. Like, I'm not talking singing, I mean talking. I hate the sound of my voice talking. Like, I hate it. I hate it. The first time I was in a film class and they played back the video, I leaned into my friend and said, I'm so sorry that that's what you hear every day. Like, I don't like that. So it took some time getting used to watching myself back. Do you have trouble with that? Like,
No.
Oh, you just love that mug. Huh?
I think I'm self-absorbed a little bit. 'Cause I don't love. Okay, so
there now.
I don't love it. I'm not like, oh, bitch, you are it. But I guess I'm so used to it. You know, I'm so used.
I'm used to it now, and I'll be honest. I mean, I feel my photo-wise, I'm into myself. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love being in front of the camera photo-wise. I'd say the hardest part of transitioning from theater to film was getting a hold of my eyebrows. My eyebrows are really expressive, which works really well for the stage. You know, you want to hit that back row. But for film, my teacher was like, what are you doing? They're just, wow. And it's really distracting. So learning how to be in the moment, but also keep these bad boys in line was the hardest thing.
You know what? If you ever get more into drag, eyebrows are a hard thing there too.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like drawing them or what?
Well, because a lot of queens draw them, right? So then they have to glue down the regular ones, or they have to shave them off. I'm sitting over here in the corner, and I'm like, I'm sorry, my brows are great. I'm just gonna have my natural ones, and you guys can draw whatever shapes you want, but I'll just be over here with my God-given brows.
I like two things. First off, I draw, but I have a hard time matching. You know what I mean? So that would drive me crazy. I'm a bit OCD. But also, some people think this is weird, but eyebrows are like my favorite feature on a face. It's why I notice first, because they frame the eyes. Like, they frame the eyes. That's the window to the soul. Blah blah blah. But if you have busted eyebrows, I can't. Like, male, female, I can't do it. It drives me crazy.
Okay, well, am I okay right now?
Let me see. You're good. You give me a good brow.
Okay.
Give me a good brow. You don't have to glue those down.
No, that's why I'm like, nope, that's like 20 extra minutes. We're good.
I think if I got into full drag, I'd always be late because if my brows didn't look great, then I wouldn't leave. You know what I mean? I couldn't get past it.
Well, a lot of people say they're cousins, not sisters, and that's everyone's way of accepting. And
that's good.
Even mine.
All right, I might be able to live with that.
Even mine are not
just get close enough.
Perfectly symmetrical, so it's like
that's good.
You got to accept a little bit of asymmetry in some of your features.
I heard you earlier with Mitch. What was her name? Sia. The drag queen. Yeah, making shirts. I want that on a shirt. Cousins, not sisters, with just two brows.
Yeah.
Merch. I'm telling you.
Merch. No, I mean lots of T-shirts here. We could go into business. I don't know who's buying them in the pandemic, but yeah, let's do it. Let's talk. What's something you don't like about stage that you do like about film?
Don't like about stage that I do like about film. Woo. Okay. That's tough because I love them both for different reasons. I'll say that, okay, I got it. Sometimes if you're in a show that gets really monotonous, it sucks if you know you have 4 more weeks and you can't, you know what I mean? You made a commitment, so you can't not do it. Now, if you want to be professional and work again. But compared to that, in the film, I really, really like that. Like, depending on what it is, like if it's a feature or if it's a show and you're coming back, it's a community. You know what I mean? It takes a freaking town to make this one thing happen, and that energy is really electric. But at the same time, there's no instant gratification for film. Like if you're doing comedy, you might think it's funny as fuck, but you know the crew's holding it together. They're trying not to ruin the noise, the sound, so no one's laughing. But on stage, you get that instant gratification. You know, if you're doing stand-up, you get that instant gratification of this is working, this isn't working, and you can adjust in real time.
And yeah, and that's a really good point, because you might wait 9 months for people to laugh at that joke in film, longer, years.
I don't care for it at all. I will say though that there's more, at least in my experience, there's more room to. I probably shouldn't even say this. I'm gonna say it anyway. There's more room to fuck around a little bit on stage than there is on set. So in those times when we're on, like, I've been a show that's a little boring and we've been doing it for a few weeks, we would play theater games and stuff on stage, things that kept us interested, like kept it lively, I guess is the way to say. Never change the blocking, never fuck with what the director did, but enough for us to like have a little game going. Like, you ever heard of Pass the Quarter?
Pass the quarter?
Yeah. So at the big top of the show, someone would start with a quarter on stage, and through your interactions, whether you're holding someone's hand on their side or like shaking hands, you have to pass the quarter to them, and it can't drop because on stage it's gonna make noise. Whoever has it at the end has to buy drinks for everybody else.
Oh, I like it. So you're trying to pass it all the time.
Oh yeah, you don't want it.
Got it. Does being a stage actor prepare you better for film acting?
Oh, throwing the hardball questions. I'm ill prepared. I think, and this is me personally, I might get flack for it. I think that it's easier to transition from theater to film than it is from film to theater, personally. Just because theater, you're so used to being big, you know, that you can really start to pull it back and pull it back and pull it back. For some people have such a hard time being a bigger than life. I've been on in shows when they can't pull that out of them, and it's like pulling fucking teeth. So I think it's easier that way around.
I would agree with the acting that I've seen, that it's easier for people to dial it down than dial it up.
Yep. It's just like, I prefer, like right now it's still a little chilly in LA, and my roommate wants it to get real hot, and I don't want it to, because cold, I can layer and layer and layer and layer, but hot, you can only take off so much, and then there's nothing else you can do, and that's torture to me.
I agree. I try to wear as little clothes as possible, especially when I'm performing.
That's the way to go.
I just
breathe a nipple.
Yeah, I mean, just almost a naked whore dancing around. But off stage, I like to put on hoodies and have blankets and snuggle. So
layers. And that you know, I'm okay. I'll call myself a acclimated person when it comes to temperature, but like I grew up, my mom she'd have on a shawl and a sweater and a blanket and still have it cranked to 90, like just perma-cold.
You know, some people are like that, and maybe that's why you like to layer.
Probably. I'm just used to it at this point.
Yeah. So you dabbled in stand-up a little bit.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I got into stand-up because it was my biggest fear on the fucking planet. I can do a play, I can be in a short, and if it's not good, I'm like, I didn't write it. Like, you know, I just came here to do a job. But there's something about getting on stage and telling your own stories from your own perspective with there's no shield. You know, you're just right there with the audience, and that used to scare the ever-living Jesus out of me.
Really?
And I was talking to a friend about it at work a few years ago, and she said, "Oh, I took this class, And it's not about like how to craft a joke. It just helps you figure out who you are and like, you know, to have the balls to do it. I said, that sounds great. One day I'll have to do it. She's like, you should. There's one spot left next week. I'm like, oh. So thinking I had like 6 months to decide to face that fear, I had a week and just did it because fuck it. And it really helped me find out like what my version of comedy is. And it made my brain work differently. You know, I love the way my brain as a comedian works. I took some time away from stand-up. Like, I'm sure you can relate, but the world was a little, like, sad to me. Like, it made me a little sad, if that makes any sense. Because, for instance, you and I we can relate, but we're nothing alike. You know what I mean? Even if we had the same story to tell, your perspective's going to be different than mine. But people were, like, judgy. And we're not competing, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is a freaking bringer show. Why are you like this? It put me in a weird, I needed a little space from it.
Very competitive atmosphere, stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I like to tell people that, because I'm in both worlds up here in Sacramento, and it's much cattier on the stand-up side than it is the drag side. There's a lot of love on the drag side. There's a lot of hate in stand-up comedy. And it's like, okay, I don't know why, but like, whatever, that's how it is. So
it got to a point like, and sorry, my mustache is curling up. I've never had just a mustache before, and it gets bothering my nose. But if there was a way for me to do like fully just focus on stand up and not have to deal with other people, I would do it more often.
Okay.
But as far as green rooms and stuff, like it started to bug me. The same thing kind of with, like, I love improv, but improv can get really catty. And I love art. Like, for the sake that we can all do it and there's enough space for all of us, I'm fucking very competitive. But I'm not catty. Like, I don't like drama. No. Fuck that. Keep it. Save it for your mama.
I don't like to, I guess I'm the same, because I don't like to be in drama. I don't care if other people have it. Just don't put me in it.
Please.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I know some people love it.
Out.
But I'm good. I'm just like my eyebrows. I'm good. I'm over in the corner with my natural brows and no drama. Like,
none.
You have your drama and your drama brows.
Exactly.
So, okay. So how long did you do it? Stand up.
I did it for 2.5 years.
Wow.
As far as like go into it. And then I'm learning as I get older to really pay attention to my mindset and where I'm at, you know, and it was detrimental. I want to get back into it. I think I've had enough time away, but it was hurting me more than I was getting from it at that time.
If something's taken more off the table than it's putting on, it's time to find a new table.
It had to go, you know, just for a minute, because I just didn't understand what, like, the point. I'm like, why are you this into my grill when we are not alike at all? You are a short, pudgy, pale person. You know what I mean? I'm a 6'2" thin black dude. There's no way our perspectives are the same. So we're not going for the same spot. Fuck you. You know, I just didn't get it.
I think you're talking about that guy at the end of the show that I hate.
Stop. You're going to get me in trouble.
No.
I'm trying to make friends here. I'm not. I just told you. Anti-drama. Don't throw me in the mix.
I'm not, but this is you're not in trouble. This is the Suzette Veneti Show, so you're good. I love you. Suzette Veneti loves you. So, okay, all right. So, let's talk about, you've been in a lip sync competition for 24 straight weeks.
Yeah.
That sounds like my life, like my weekly life. Go on.
I'm trying to be you. That's what it is. First things first, get that down, and then I'll try these brows out. I've always been a real big fan of drag, and in particular, what artistry people can put on making a song come to life. You know, whether it's a ballad. Your previous guest was talking about a drag queen. She knows that can do songs that have one word. You know, It's real cool what you can do with it, and because I have a pre-existing condition and haven't been going out and performing and stuff, like, I wanted to do something that just made me feel creative. So I reached out to a buddy of mine who's actually in Canada. who I knew would be fun, but our brains work like we're like on opposite sides of the planet. And I told him, I was like, I have this idea, like kind of like a lip sync battle, but like weekly. I want it to be a weekly thing, and it's not going to be live because I want us to have a little production value and just see what we bring. But we're going to do the same song, 1 minute, just to see what's the difference between the two of us and have people vote. So it's called Sinking Ships. And my goal, I say it like I'm not going to do it, but it's going to happen for a full year. For a full year, not going to miss a week. It's been super, super cool, you know, and my brain's working in a weird way. I did, do you know Miss New Booty by Bubba Sparks?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so did that song, and I mixed two of my favorite things. There's a show called P Valley about my birthplace, Mississippi, about strippers. And then I grew up on Pokemon, so I made a Pokemon strip club. For that minute of that song, one of the strippers, she wore it all yellow, and her name was Pikachu. Like, just dumb shit. But it worked. And I kicked Oliver's ass that week. I want to point that out if he is listening, because fuck you. He won this week, so I'm a little pissed off.
See, now you're going to get me in trouble.
It's been real cool. 24 weeks. Sometimes you tap in people that want to try it out, and it's been really entertaining and fun to see how my brain's been work, you know?
Very cool. What was I going to say? Oh, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Buy me dinner first. Wow. No. I'm going to ask you, how old do you think I am?
Oh, no. That doesn't work.
We're doing it.
No. Okay, hold on. Let me, because I'm looking at a webcam, so let me look at you. I can only give a range because you could be a wide range. I'm gonna say 28 plus or minus 4.
Wow, you're good. Plus the 4, I'm 32.
Okay, all right.
I actually had my first moment of forgetting how old I was yesterday. But just talking about that with my roommate, I put in my birth date and Googled it. And I was like, that person would be 32 years old. I was like, okay. I couldn't remember 31, 32. It wasn't a good experience.
You know, it's tough with the pandemic. Like, so I've been doing...
Time means absolutely nothing.
I've been doing stand-up comedy for 4 years now. But does the last year count? Because I haven't been able to go out and tell jokes. So why does
I'm so glad you freaking said that, because I had a little, you know, you have those performer prices that go up and down, you know. I had one yesterday because it's coming up on my 8 years in LA, but I'm like, does this count as a year in LA? I've been in this apartment.
Yeah. You've been a year, what, 7 years in LA and 1 year in the apartment.
Exactly.
That's how that works.
Exactly.
I don't think that should be on your time card.
You know, but I know I'm sure you've come out with some comedy gold from your experience in quarantine, and I know emotionally there's shit I wouldn't want to deal with again, but it's gonna help me as an actor for sure. Something to pull from.
Yeah, no, I mean I've been fortunate that I've been doing this, and I usually have a little bit of a monologue at the top, and I've written some jokes I'm really proud of.
All right.
I would tell you, but I don't know, that might bore the audience, so I can tell you later.
And I'll probably steal them. I'm kidding with that.
So I'm really proud of those, and yeah, I mean, things happen in a pandemic that give you, it's something that you were talking about perspective earlier, and it's, you know, with comedy, we're all going through the same thing in a pandemic, but what is my perspective on it, and how does that differ from everyone else's? So
you hit it. I mean, because you can tell just from one, talking to people, but also like, you know, if you go to the grocery store, you can see the people that get what's happening and the people that have no clue, that are actually dodging the news and just pretending that nothing is going on.
Oh, Republicans.
I was gonna say, thank you.
That's fine.
It's driving me fucking crazy because I want to go outside.
I'll say it. If they watch the show, they already watched the show. Hi, Republicans, but they probably aren't watching the show. I don't know if I have any Republican fans. If I do, hit your girl up. I like to be taken care of, and you guys have a lot of money because that's how you do tax breaks.
A lot of money and likely bad brows. I said that.
I won't look. Just buy me things and I'll lie.
I told my best friend a while back that I don't care if it's a guy or a girl. I just want a sugar person. Like at this point, just a sugar person. Doesn't matter. Guy, girl, in between, neither. Just sugar person, please.
Yeah. Findom. Have you heard of Findom?
Oh, what?
Findom.
What is that?
So this is actually I do stand up about it, but I'll tell you since I mentioned it, and then the audience can hear about it. So Findom, and a Findom daddy is somebody who you financially dominate them, right? So like they have the money and you're the baby, or I've also heard pay pig, but whatever. Just give me your money and call me what you want, you nasty little sucker. So they send you money, like they would send me money, and they'd be like, here's a 7-inch pair of heels. I want you to buy them, and I want you to wear them and send me a picture. And you're like,
Is there like a website or a sign-up sheet? Like
I don't know, but I want to be part of it so bad because I will take a picture in the heels and return them and pay my SMUD bill. Like I am an entrepreneur and I want to do it like that.
You're a business woman.
Yes, I look for ways of revenue, and that is one. So I'm ready for it because I have good feet. So let's take pictures and send them to men who want them, and then I can pay my bills.
Do it. I'm all for it. Sex work is work. Make that money, boo-boo. Like, and if anyone is listening and down for this kind of agreement, hit me up. Instagram, I'm your boy.
Your information is below you right now, so if anyone is interested in being your sugar person, that's where they can find you on the Instagram.
Now you know, miles of miles. I have watched.
Or they can just drop some fat, sugar person coin into that Venmo that we're displaying.
In that Venmo, I know you see it, and I will not refuse. Thank you so much.
Can you refuse on Venmo?
You can. You can indeed. If you're baller and snooty, which I am neither currently.
Apparently, I'm not because I didn't know you could. So give me a lip sync tip. You've been doing this for 24 weeks.
Oh, okay. Here's what I will say. Like, depending on what you're doing, you want to. People always say like embody the song. I'm kind of gonna fight that a little bit. I'm going to say that you can make the lyrics, whatever they are, tell whatever story you want to tell.
Okay.
Like, the song this week was about, like, surfing. I didn't pick it. And I used it to tell a story of, it was a superhero origin story. So I fought a robber, gave me the idea that I was going to make my own superhero. And I kept using all the same words, but you can put your life into those words. They don't have to control you.
Okay. That's something that I would love to see because I don't know if I can do that. So I
think you can. I think you can.
Okay, I mean, I think I could. Yeah, maybe I could, but I don't think I have. And so I'd like to see it. Like I need to look at this now. And
yeah, you're gonna have to go back through.
I'm glad you're doing it for a year.
At my Instagram, you can go back through and see some of previous weeks and just see the kind of stuff I do. Because that's my favorite part of it. Well, Oliver and I have been competing for so long now that it's like chess. So I'm like, oh, if I pick this song, it'll fuck him over. And he's like, well, if I can make it topical, I might win. But what I really like to do, and I've really gotten from it, is seeing how much of a story I can tell in a minute. So do really stupid stuff. What's another one of my favorites? I did like a urban version of Gomez and Morticia Adams. So the whole song, all I'm doing is trying to, as the drag side, is just trying to kill the man. It was just fun, like, period. Super fun.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to go.
May I ask you a question?
Please.
I know it's your show, but
no.
I want to ask you something.
No one ever does. Go for it.
What kind of songs do you like to do when you lip sync?
It depends. So I'm very honest and open about this on the show. So if anyone watching is watching and knows me, they can kind of follow along with my journey.
Okay.
So didn't know. I don't know if I knew before we started doing. I've been doing a drag brunch. I've been co-producing and co-hosting a drag brunch for two years now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Always pro brunch.
Yeah. Brunch is great. Everyone should be pro brunch.
Period.
But thank you for being pro brunch. We appreciate your support. So I think 2 years. Anyway, I don't think I knew what I was doing picking songs for the first year. Maybe I think I'd stumble on it and I'd get lucky. But I think it was just kind of dumb luck. And of course luck, it does take some preparation and it does take some skill, and then the luck is being in the right place at the right time. So
maybe listening to your gut.
Yeah, exactly. So I was doing something right, but I don't know if I fully understood why. Now that we've been doing it since about midway through the pandemic, so August of last year, we've been doing it weekly, and we've had to shut down a couple times as we go in and out of tiers. And then we're outside, so weather is a factor. So now I've been doing it for what, six months strong, weekly.
Okay.
That has been a sink or swim situation for me, and I've had to figure out what's the situation that I'm performing this song. Am I hosting the show? Because we all trade. I'm doing the show with the 3 best drag queens in Sacramento. If you ever come up here, you'll have to come to they're amazing.
Way down.
They're the 3 best drag queens in Sacramento, and I'm just trying to stay with them. And so if I'm hosting the show, that's where my charm comes in, is getting to talk to people. Surprise. So if I'm hosting, I can do something kind of weird. I can be a little bit goofier. It can be a short song, because I'm hosting. I'm there the whole show. I'm on the mic. So I can do a 2.5 minute song that I really want to do. I can do a weird kind of not quite avant-garde number because brunch isn't the place for that. But I can
no.
It's not. But I can do something a little bit kookier, right? Now, if I'm not hosting, like today, I didn't host. So today it was, okay, I have 6 minutes, basically 6 minutes, because songs are about 3 minutes. Sometimes you do one that's 4, sometimes you should. Most drag performers would tell you never to do one that's over 5, because you'll lose the audience even if you're great.
That's long. That's a long number.
It's a long number. So I have 6 minutes to make the audience fall in love with me and not think I'm a weirdo, which I am, right? But like a good kind of weirdo. So today it was like, what's a song that people love to dance to or sing to? And for me, and also something that fits who you are and fits your aesthetic. So
What'd you do?
For me, what's that?
What'd you do? What was the song?
No, I was about to tell you. Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
See, crowd pleaser. And then the other one was the Kygo remix of Hot Stuff by Donna Summer, because I figured if
you can't. You can't not move to Hot Stuff. That's it's impossible. I don't trust you. I don't trust you if your body doesn't move to that song.
Right.
Any version of it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, some people grew up with Girlfriend, some people grew up with Hot Stuff, but everyone's gonna want to move to them. And
I grew up with both. So
yeah. And
Hot Stuff at home with the parents, and then like Boyfriend came out when I was in high school. Like that was the vibe. You know what I mean? Everybody had their hair to the one side. Yeah. All that.
Yeah. So that's what I did today. Last week I was a little bit weirder. I did a cover of Crying by Aerosmith from someone on The Voice, Juliet Sims. And
cool. All right.
And then I did Stupid Love, which that's a Gaga song, so everyone loves it and knows it. But the way I did it, sorry, that got really loud. The way I did it was in a very, it could only be described in a Suzette Veneti way. And I can send you a tape later if you want to see.
Please do, because now I'm curious about what that way is.
It's an adventure. it's
all right. I'm down. I'm always down for that.
So that's how
I like that there's that much thought into what you're picking. That's something that has helped me grow. Is like I've never suggested for your freaking shows because you need to make your coin. Like you're there to fucking make money. You got a mission.
No.
But it's been cool to not always have the choice. You know what I mean? If someone to send me like this last week's song, it's a good song, but I wasn't inspired by it at all until I was. You know what I mean? It was cool to be challenged.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I agree. It's cool to be challenged, and my co-producer, co-host Taryn Through You is her name. She's amazing. She's been she's the bitch of brunch, we call her.
Okay.
She is the queen of Sacramento, and she'll do what's called a drag suicide, where the audience at whatever show, not at brunch, but sometimes at shows she'll do this.
Yeah.
The audience will just name songs, and the DJ's just putting them in his little DJ machine, and he's
that made me sweaty. It gave me a little anxiety. Yep. That's
he finds the parts of the songs that slap or that everybody knows, and then once there's like 12 to 15 songs, he just starts playing, and the song just it's suicide. It's
that sounds
rotating.
Fun though.
It's
to
fun.
watch and to do. Like it, I'm scared, but I'm down. I would try that.
I've done one. I did a Britney suicide, and I just want to say, in case anyone's watching, we're not talking about the act of trigger warning. We're not talking about the act of killing themselves. We're talking about like a suicide drink, like you'd get at a restaurant.
Mix of everything.
Yeah, a mix of everything, and you don't know what's coming, kind of like Russian roulette, except obviously this is with drag. But I've done a Britney kind of roulette, we'll say, where I didn't know it was coming, and we were at a comedy club. And it was after a show, a really great show, and so the manager was just hitting a different track of Britney, and I was just trying to, like, I know all her songs. I will dance and perform them all right now without knowing what's coming. I have no problem doing that. Oh, it's amazing. I have tape of that too, and no one sees it because it's unlisted, but it's amazing.
I think I could hold my own on Britney. I think I know enough Gaga. I could do enough. That sounds like fun. I might have to whip something up.
Yeah.
Do some kind of singing ship medley and see if Oliver, my buddy, might be down. That's a cool challenge.
You should search on YouTube Taryn Through You drag suicide.
I will.
And you'll see her doing one. Yeah, and I mean after that, then it just comes down to artists and like what songs look for me. This is just how I do it. I can't speak for other queens. Although I know my one of my favorite drag queens, my aunt Apple Adams, she always picks 90s songs, even though she was a baby in the 90s. And then my co-producer Taryn Through You does a lot of dance songs because she's a dancer.
Can't hear you anymore.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Figuring it out. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? No. Okay, 1 second. No.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're working on it. 1 second. And if anyone's watching and they can hear me, we're just figuring this out. And if you can't hear me, stay here. I'll write in the chat. We are working on it. Okay. Myles, can you hear me?
It's just super low.
I'm low? Okay. I can talk louder.
Yeah. It's getting better.
Better. Okay, cool.
Sorry about that. I just want to hear all the lovely questions.
No, thank you. Thank you for saying something. I'm glad you did. Is this audible?
Yes. I'm just gonna lean close too.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's good you said it because if you are having trouble hearing, it's possible the audience is too. So I need to do a better job of speaking a little bit more clear into the mic. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I think we can talk more about it. But also, I pick songs kind of based on artists that I can perform to, or sometimes it's just as easy as like, this song sounds fun, I want to do it. But I try to have a little bit of method, at least for brunch.
It's smart. I mean, I definitely let I honestly, I throw my music on shuffle a lot and just see what pops up and what resonates depending on the week where my brain's at. But I know if I was trying to get paid, like I know you know what I mean. You got, like you said, you have 6 minutes to make a connection. I would definitely be methodical. Try to figure out the best way to empty them pockets.
Well, and you know, I use like YouTube Music has a discover feature where they play 50 new songs a week for you, and I listen to those because I think it's important for me, not everybody, but for me, to stay up on like what songs are out there that I haven't heard, because like we don't listen to the radio like we used to. So what songs are out there that I can perform that I don't know exist? So let's see, what was I going to ask you next?
And I can't wait to send me that video because I need to know what the Suzette experience looks like. Like I need to know what this is.
There are a couple. I'll send you that one for sure. And if you want more, we're fortunate. We have a drag. I call her a drag anthropologist. She records everything we do. So I have all the videos that you could want.
Yeah, you have an archive.
For sure, the one that was Stupid Love, because I think that's probably my best number.
Well, then I definitely got to see it.
I will send it. Do you mind if we talk about your orientation for a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So you are newly out as bisexual?
No.
Okay.
I've been out for a while.
Okay.
Wore the shirt, a little nod, you know, to the flag. I've been out for, well, you know, like I say, you know, like it's different for everybody, and it's like a process. And I didn't realize that I would have to come out like 7 times. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I'm never done. But best friends have known since for like 8 years. No, 10 years. Family for 8. And I've been, like, trigger warning, whatever, I've been pretty fortunate, especially being a black man from the South with ex-military parents and church parents. I was like, for the longest time, I was just like, well, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? But everyone's been super warm and welcoming. But this summer, I had another conversation with them because they've always been supportive, but I didn't know if I could bring anyone home. It's just something we talked about. And so I was in because of pandemic stuff, I was already in a really raw place. And I was talking to my mom, and I said, before we move on, I want to know, like, if I bring a dude home, are you going to be weird? And I said, before you answer, I'm very comfortable with a lot of awkward Thanksgivings. And she looked at me like I was crazy, like it was the last question I should have asked, and I had to walk her through, no, this is not how this usually goes. This is how this goes to a lot of people. So how would I know this if you hadn't said this to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had a really nice open conversation. Her, my dad, my brother, and it was right in time to meet someone. Yeah, I've had bisexual experiences. Not to get too slutty, but I hadn't officially dated a man before. And we have now, me and my boyfriend we met at the beginning of quarantine. So you're here in California too, right?
Yep.
LA went to stay at home on March 16th, and we met on the 19th. And we've been talking ever since. So we're about to have been talking for a year already, and it's very, very crazy. My brain can't comprehend it. I do well single. Those people that can't be single, that's not me. I can just enjoy life, go on trips, and be fine. My last girlfriend was 3 years ago, and I thought I was going to be, wanted to be single for another 2 years. And then we met, and I was like, well, I didn't think I was going to like anyone. I probably should pursue this a little bit.
That's really cool. So my apologies, I misunderstood. So you've known you were bisexual for 8 years or longer, but you have just recently started steadily dating a boyfriend. Yeah,
it's what I've told my friends. Again, I like to think about it like this. This is an interview show, so asking me questions, but otherwise, it's not really anyone's business. Like, not that I'm trying to hide anything at all, but unless you were trying to introduce me to someone or to fuck me, then why are you asking me? You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that's just kind of how I have lived. But it's been really cool to, like, I mean, dating is dating. It's been really refreshing to just meet an equal. It's that simple. Someone that speaks my language, period. When I came out to my parents originally, I'm telling you a lot. You're getting a lot right now. I wrote a letter, was part of it, and I just said that at the end of, because I'm pretty like in the middle spectrum wise, like, but I told them that you're either going to get a really beautiful daughter-in-law or a really handsome son-in-law. I just don't, like, time will tell. And that's just kind of how I feel in general. If humans are attractive, I'm attracted to people.
So that's actually something that I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, because I had a friend, a really good friend who was bi, and she explained to me that it's not always 50-50. You're not always 50% attracted to men and 50% attracted to women. You can be 90-10, or you can be, you know, any percentage, or you can be romantically interested in women and just sexually interested in men. Like, there's so many different components of how bisexuality can work, and it's not. And I ignorantly always thought it was just, oh, you're bisexual, you equally like men and women. I didn't know that. And so is that what you were referring to when you said that you're kind of in the middle of the spectrum?
I mean, I'll say that your friend gave you a freaking, like, a college course and you picked everything up real well. You know what I mean? And not even to say, like, I get it, you're saying a place of ignorance, but that's where my brain was for a long time on it too, just because we're finally getting to a place society-wise where we can talk about how broad of a spectrum sexuality and gender are in general, and it's never ending. You know, think about the fact that there are 8 billion people on this planet, and even twins aren't the same. You know what I mean? So there's so many different versions of everything. I'm in this. We're gonna have a real wholesome moment for a second, but I'm in this bisexual meme group on Facebook, like 40,000 people or something, and it's like the most wholesome thing I've ever been a part of. Like, you know, there's just so many different people from different walks of life, people that are more feminine, people that are like super masculine, butch, and just sharing their experiences and saying, you know, I'm 90% this, I'm, you know, 10% this, I feel like I'm this, I used to feel like this, now I feel like this. And people forget that your sexuality, it fluctuates, period. I'll speak from my own perspective. Living in Los Angeles is delightful as a bisexual male that is right kind of in the middle, especially in the summer, because it's just shirtless dudes and sundresses. It's heaven. It's the best. And
I like
yeah.
both of those. I like to wear sundresses, definitely. So I'm with you.
Yeah, I will always be pro sundress.
Who's not?
Like, it's a gift. You know what I mean? And I think that what I would hope is that people just become more accustomed to being in tune with themselves and giving themselves the freedom to change, you know? I've met people in my past that were married to a man and then have, you know, dated a woman or dated someone that is non-binary, and people are like, oh, well, they changed. Like, they're still themselves. Their sexuality has fluctuated. Like, it's not a set thing.
And I wanna take a second to thank you, because you are getting kind of deep and open about your sexuality.
I can hear you again. I'm sorry.
Oh, is this better?
Better.
Okay, then I just need to do a better job talking into the mic. I wanna take a second to thank you, because you are getting very deep and open about your sexuality, and that's like you said, it's something that really isn't anyone's business. But as a society go forward and understand more, whether you come from, you know, whether you're a basic white bimbo girl or you're, you know, a 6'2" black man from a military family in the South, we're learning and we're adjusting as society and a culture. And I think it's really important, not for people on a personal level to share their story, but if someone's willing to come on a show like this and talk about it and explain their feelings and be honest and open, I think that could really help somebody who's watching at home, hopefully, and kind of trying to figure that out themselves. You know, what are these feelings I'm feeling, and why am I feeling them, and is it okay? And the answer is, yeah, it's okay. It's totally okay. So
I appreciate you saying that.
No, I appreciate
like that.
you.
The way that you phrase that, it's so beautiful and honest and real.
Thank you.
I'll be real with you. You know, like we talked a little bit early in the day, and I told you everything was like, you could hit me with anything.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't decided how much I was going to say. But in quarantine, just in general, like I have realized personally how much I need to be as honest as possible as an artist. And it has affected my art. Like I feel more in control. I feel more open. I feel more honest. And my main thing was my family. Like, and if my, you know what I mean? If my family has my back 110%, then there's no reason to, like, what am I, you know what I mean?
What are you scared of? Yeah.
Coming out is different. Exactly. It's different for everybody. And I'll be real too, that part of me going to Hawaii was building a second family just in case. Like I was prepared if things didn't go well to be an island. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you didn't, because that is not, I don't know how much of Sia's interview you caught, but she mentioned that her family's not really supportive, like her actual biological family. So I'm glad that yours is. It's always different, and how fortunate, you know, because I know
Very
drag
fortunate.
performers that are.
And the good thing is this, that there's no, like, I know that it can feel like there's a lack of good people sometimes, like, but there's not. And you have the option to build your own family. You don't have to stay around toxic people. And you're not being disrespectful for asking to be respected. Period.
Absolutely.
Period. The fact that we're still not at a place where we just say people are people drives me freaking crazy. And if me talking about my stuff can help that the tiniest bit, then I'm going to do it. I told my parents this, and my boyfriend this, and all this. I've never felt more free in my life, and I absolutely refuse to go the opposite way.
Well, I want to say I'm proud. I'm proud for you. Let me say that. Let me not say I'm proud of you, because that always feels like I had something to do with it when I say that to people.
No, I tell friends I don't know, friends I don't know, you know what I mean? Like associates, people need to hear that more, that you're proud of someone. Like nothing wrong with that, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm definitely proud for you. You know, I'm inspired. So thank you so much for sharing that. But to kind of stay on the same topic but shift a little bit for levity, I am lonely and cold in my bed all alone, and here you are finding a perfectly wonderful man during COVID. How? I have to know how you did this during a pandemic.
Okay.
Because
I will tell you how we met. But
Please
first
do.
I have to say, yes, I am a wonderful, committed relationship.
Yes.
That is fucking long distance, because he lives in New York and I'm in LA, and I feel the exact same way you do in your bed, and I'm really pissed off at you for mentioning it.
I'm sorry.
Period. He also, not to throw all his stuff out there, but he also has a pre-existing condition, so we have to take COVID super seriously. He just got the first half of his vax. I'm about to get mine, so we're so close to just being able to, do all the things and be all the things. But how we met is, are you ready for kind of the gayest story ever? Like it's really ridiculous Hallmark level story.
I mean, I've heard some pretty gay stories, but hit me.
Okay, I'm telling you. So
I'll agree if it is. I'm not saying it won't be. I'm just saying.
All right. So here's the rundown. I was in a musical, and he was in the original version of this musical 5 years before. Same director. All right, same director. So this director would host karaoke at my home bar, my go-to spot. If you see where I'm headed.
I do. I'm just counting the gay points.
So the director also did trivia And to keep life normal, he started doing Zoom trivia.
That feels straight.
I showed up to. What are you gonna say?
I said that feels kind of straight, but go on.
Well, on the Zoom trivia, there's like 70 people around the world, and I'm on a musical theater team. We're back to gay. And he was on my team. So, on Zoom, you can pick who's on your screen, like if you want to see everybody's faces or whatever. He told me after the fact that he just put my face for the whole time. And he did the easy thing of asking the host, like, what team I played for and all that good stuff. And I didn't do that because the host is a gossip. So I just did the millennial thing and stalked the fuck out of him on social media. And I found a I'm coming out post, and I was like, aha. So talked on Facebook for a bit, went back and forth. But the through line is this, that we had to meet through musical theater, mutual friends, trivia, in the middle of a pandemic, 2,500 miles away, LA and New York, two dudes, black dude, white guy, and basically a race war. Coming soon to Hallmark.
I mean, only because of COVID does it sound like a very gay story. Otherwise, it kind of sounds like a lesbian love story. But
I've gotten that a lot.
Yeah, but
it's just missing some flannel.
A little bit, and I mean, you guys would have just at some point said like we're moving in together, and whatever happens, happens. But it's a beautiful story, and it would have been a beautiful story if it had been more lesbian or more gay. So I'm very happy for you guys, and you can't be mad because you guys are halfway vaxxed to getting to a not cold bed. Meanwhile, I don't know how I walk around looking like this every day, and I'm still single, but I guess we all have our own burdens.
I don't either because you dropped dead gorgeous. Especially, again, I'm going to take it back to the brows.
Thank you. I will not fight that. I will take that. Myles, that's the end of my proper questions. Are you ready for rapid fire?
Hey, I'm going to lean in, though. I want to make sure I hear you, okay?
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I talk right into it.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Favorite song to lip sync to?
Ooh. All right, yeah. The song I picked for New Year's, it's called Bang by AJR.
It's a good song.
It's such a good song, and it's exactly how I felt. Just this year's been so crappy. Let's go out with a bang.
Right on. Okay. If you were performing stand-up tonight, what would your walk-up song be?
Oh. GDFR by Florida is going down for real. I've been telling my friends this, but I want to eventually have like a 2 to 3 bedroom or 2 to 3 story house, just so that I can have an elevator that when you press down, it says it's going down for real. My house is gonna be so ridiculous and stupid.
I like it. It's extra, and that's another point in your gay love story.
I'm collecting these points.
It's just an elevator to have a song that corresponds with the elevator.
Yep.
What's your favorite recurring show to perform in? So I wasn't sure how recently you'd quit comedy. So let's say it could be theater as well.
Oh, okay. Favorite? Okay, that's a good question. So there's a lot of shows that I really love. But there's only one show that I've done that I could do for the rest of my life and not feel like I want to end it. And that's Hair. Do you know Hair at all?
Pretty well. Go on.
Yeah. So hippie life, you build a family, you build a tribe, and it was one of the most magical moments I've ever had, and I could do that every day for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Got to do it for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Do you have a favorite venue to perform in?
Favorite what?
Venue?
Ooh. No. I have a venue I would love to perform in, though. I would love to perform at the Hollywood Bowl. It's such a beautiful place, and acoustically, it just kind of hugs you,
Where's that?
It's here in Hollywood.
Oh, the Hollywood Bowl.
It's a big outside amphitheater.
The Hollywood, you said the Hollywood Bowl. I didn't catch it. Okay. What is the funniest thing an audience member has ever said to you after a show?
Funniest thing an audience member has said to me after a show. Okay. Here's what I'll do, because honestly, I'm pretty good at steering conversations the way I want them to go after show.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So I'll say something someone said to me while I was working my day job when I was serving. That was not cool. And something that has happened on stage. So during West Side Story, it was like the most dramatic part of the show. This character Chino pulls a gun, and this girl in the audience, we got perfectly quiet, and this girl goes, "Oh, shoot!" And we're all on stage trying to like hold it and not laugh. And I thought that was fucking funny. I was serving these middle-aged women, and I was gonna do a little birthday song, and this woman says, "Can I see your thing?" I was talking about my dick, and I was like, "That's not, you can't afford that." So that was really shocking in the middle of this family restaurant.
Yes, that is not, it's not family appropriate.
No, and she called it my thing. It was that's a weird way to say penis.
That is, yeah, I agree. You're not taking it seriously. You don't want to see it if you're calling it a thing. Who's your favorite comic?
Bill Burr, hands down. He is crass but has something to say. And when I first started doing stand-up, I was at a show, and the runner was like, "Just a heads up, sometimes big names come in here to try some stuff out. It doesn't happen that often, so don't freak out." Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. But two, okay.
Bless you.
I was. Oh, do we have three? No, okay. I was already like upset because I was second to last, and right before I'm about to go on, who walks in the door? Bill fucking Burr. So I accidentally opened for Bill Burr, and was super nervous, but it went well. And he's a beef. He was trying out new material, and this guy tried to film him on the front row, and he noticed the glow of the phone and said, "What are you doing?" Took his phone, deleted it, and it talked about him for 10 minutes. It was otherworldly.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite actor?
Too many.
That's fair.
But I'll pick one, Viola Davis.
Okay, that's a great answer.
Champion.
Do you have a favorite LGBTQ activist?
I don't know their names, which forgive me. But right after George Floyd lost his life, there are two trans men there in Minneapolis that they both are in office and have been leading a lot of activism from the ground up for years there. So after that went down and I started paying attention to more stuff, there was a town hall that was hosted virtually, and they had ex-president Barack Obama come as like the bringer, and then people started speaking, and those two men had so much to say and had a clear vision, and it moved me.
Right on. What's your favorite item on the gay agenda?
Favorite item on the gay agenda? I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go with flannel. I'm gonna go with it. It can go either way. You can do a lot of things with it.
You can, yeah. Which do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has affected more, the straight dating scene or the gay dating scene?
One more time?
Which dating scene has been affected more by the COVID-19 pandemic? The gay dating scene or the straight dating scene?
That question makes me mad because I want to say everyone should be affected and doing less shit, but I definitely think that the gay community has been hit harder.
Okay. You don't have to answer all the questions. You can pass if you want. But favorite sex position?
I'm just going to say, since I'm currently not getting anything, period. I hope my parents are not watching. I could be rented out as a jackhammer right now. Like, it's a poor time.
You know what? They're adults, so they probably understand.
Fair. Fair. They have the... what The Stranger is?
Oh, yeah, I know, I've heard. I've heard.
I can't even do that anymore. We're too well acquainted. It doesn't even count.
It's your roommate now.
Stop it! You're gonna get me in trouble.
Well, that's consistent with what you've been saying. Sorry, I was like, well, you said I was gonna get, or you were gonna get me in trouble, but you never said that.
You're trouble, and now I know.
A little bit, but like a fun kind that you keep coming back to, like vodka. What is your favorite thing about the existence of brunch?
Favorite thing about the existence of brunch?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and I hope this doesn't make me sound like too much of a lush, but like it's polite, allowed, hardcore day drinking. Period. This is the first birthday, and I still actually had like a Zoom brunchy thing, but there's a place here in LA called the Aroma Cafe. Yeah, Aroma Cafe and Bakery. And they have such a good brunch, and it's bottomless mimosas for $10. I've gone to for the last 3 birthdays outside of this one, and just stayed for 4 hours lit.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you ever make it up to Sac, we have brunch with just blatant day drinking. So.
It's hard to beat brunch, period. Breakfast food and bomb drinks. My really good friend Ty, I call her my twin. Her son, his name is Jude. We call him Turtle. And he is a bougie little bitch. This 6-year-old, well, he's 7 now, but a 6-year-old would ask his mom, "Mommy, it's Saturday. Can we do brunch?" Like, kid gets it. The kid just gets it.
You know what? Bougie kids know things that we laugh at them, but they're really smart usually. So
have to listen to bougie children.
You have to. Yes, that's another T-shirt. Listen to the bougie children. Do as the bougie children do. Do you cook or bake?
I do both. So at the beginning, I'm glad you asked. At the beginning of quarantine, I could cook a few things, and before my financial situation improved, in my head I was like, I can't order out all the time, and I can only make 4 things, and I'm not going to eat these 4 things forever. So you're learning how to make stroganoff today. So I actually really got into cooking, and not to toot my own horn, but got really fucking good at it. My roommate can attest. And I really like to bake, but I only really bake one thing right now. My mom sent me my grandmother's recipe for cobbler, Southern. We had an agreement when I was younger that if my brother and I picked blackberries, our grandmother would make us a cobbler, so I learned how to make it, and that was the worst thing I could do because I nailed it. And now I know how to make my favorite dessert whenever I want, and so I make my favorite dessert whenever I fucking want. It's so bad.
You have to treat yourself during a pandemic, and if that's how you're doing it, then you're doing it well. Also, it's a good thing that I guess for your boyfriend that you guys are dating, because here you are on the show, you're funny, charming, and you cook and bake. Like, your Venmo would be getting hit up, your Instagram would be getting hit up.
It is very, very rude to make a brown man blush.
Well, I'm a little bit dangerous. DC or Marvel?
Marvel, all day, every day, period.
Yes.
I like superhero anything. I'll give anything a shot, but Marvel just wins. And if you're not watching WandaVision, watch it, because it will wreck your life. It's so dang good.
It will.
You're not paying me to say that.
I don't need to date until it's over, and then I'll have a hole in my life again. But right now, WandaVision is the only relationship I need.
Real talk, though, for real.
If someone's buying us shots at the bar, what are we shooting?
Ooh, tequila.
Oh, no.
Immediately.
You're alone on that. I'm sitting back. What kind of tequila?
It's me and my best friend's go-to drink, and it's like water to us, like, it's just that if I want to have a fun night, it's tequila. Yeah.
If we're at the bar after a show and someone's buying us drinks, what are we drinking?
Okay. If I'm just gonna have my go-to, it's gin gimlet. Gin, lime juice, a little, like, I like to be a little, but I also really, really like which I didn't used to like, but like mezcal is really nice. So mezcal mule is real good.
What kind of gin in this gin gimlet?
I'm not too partial, but botanist. It's like mid-level and it's real floral. I really like it.
Important question: toilet paper, over or under?
I heard this earlier, and I kind of agree with your previous guest that
With Sia?
I'm not gonna shoot someone in the face about it, but personally, I like it under because that way I know it's controversial, but because when it's under, when you pull this way, it rips itself. It's common sense to me.
Okay, so here's the tea on me asking people this question. I am an over person, as are all.
I'm not shocked.
All correct people are over people. I thought I didn't like the under people, right? Until I found out that there were just people that were anarchists about their toilet paper and just don't.
Hardcore.
Like, some people don't even put it in the thing; they just put it next to it. And I'm like, what? And this is probably why I'm single. Favorite drag.
Hey, you just know what you want.
I know what I want my toilet paper done correctly. Who's your favorite drag queen?
Oh, that's too hard.
You can skip.
That's too hard. Drag is so cool to me, and there's so many different versions of it. You know what I mean? Of what you can do. Mm-hmm. But I'll say someone that really that I just root for in general, Evie Oddly, like just weird but charismatic as fuck. I think that's cool, you know?
Yeah. Usually I don't do this during rapid fire, but I want to explain something really quick since I'm in both worlds to anyone watching. You said there are a lot of different ways you can do drag. And since you've done stand-up, I think and you like drag, I think you'll see this analogy that I'm going to give, because this is how I explain it to people. Stand-up comedy, 95% of it is a straight cis white man telling observational jokes, right? Drag, 95% of the people that do it are gay men with big hair and sequins doing, 80s songs. But that doesn't have to be how it is. Anyone can do stand-up comedy. Anyone can do drag. And you can do it however you want. There's not a blueprint to how you have to do it, how you have to perform these arts, because they're just umbrella terms. So Evie Oddly's a great choice.
Ooh, you killed it. You killed it. It's so cool to me because I love. That's why it was a hard question. Picking my favorite. I love comedy queens. I love look queens. I love people can dance the house down boots. I like horror queens. I like bearded queens. I like drag queens. It's such a vast world.
Right.
Why would you? It's like if you decided, say years ago, you thought you were going to get cable. If you got cable and only want to watch one channel, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's a great way to put that. Thank you. Who's your favorite drag king?
I don't know this person by name, and again, forgive me, but I was at a bar 2 years ago, and the bartender was just so charismatic, and we started talking, and it turned out she was a drag king, and I now follow her on Instagram, and she's a beast. So. Okay,
well, maybe you can post about it somewhere, and if anyone's curious, they can message you, or they can try to find out who this is, because it's always cool to give a performer some recognition.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Like you did. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Who did I give recognition to?
What?
You said like I did?
I'm here right now.
Oh.
I'm getting recognized.
Well, yeah, but this is a great interview, so thank you for being here. Okay. Difficult question. You kind of already answered it, so I probably shouldn't need to ask it again, but I have an ego and self-esteem. Do you think I'm pretty?
I think you're dead gorgeous.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to hear that
again. And again, you got a lot going on. I can easily see, when you told me you did Girlfriend, I was like, I can already see the aesthetic for that number. But the main thing is this, the damn brows, period.
They are great. I think so. I think you're right.
And you're so humble and modest.
I mean, not about like about a lot of things. I am very open and honest about my struggles and my limitations. But I have great brows and great legs and great toes. Like, you gotta flex where you can.
Hey, I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with knowing your strengths and then distracting people from your weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. There was a table at the end of brunch today, and they were like, "Your legs," and I was like, "I know, I know." And there's no point in even being like, "Oh, really? These amazing legs? Really that I wear short dresses all the time?" And then my toes are just not perfect, 90% perfect. Okay. Follow-up question. I know you're in a relationship, so it can't happen, but would you date me?
I'm going to say no, and here's why.
Okay.
Because there can only be one star like that, ooh, no, I'm going to get in trouble with my boyfriend. We're both stars. What I mean is that your personality is huge, and so is mine, and we compete too much.
Okay. That's a fair answer. I like that. May you have a good relationship with your boyfriend, and may it be wonderful, and may I find a Findom daddy and WandaVision
I know that you will, and you better hold him to a standard.
A girl needs things in her life, you know.
Yep, and no settling, none of that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that from someone else, but I want my options open. Last question. When this is over, the pandemic, we have a new normal, old normal, some kind of normal, what are you most excited for?
Realistically, I'm going to say spending lots of intimate time with my boot thing. But as far as regular life things, I'm really into bowling and was bowling twice a week. And now I have not bowled in a year, and it's driving me crazy. Like, I was getting really good, and now I'm just real sad.
You know what? That's a good answer. I like when people's answer is something like that, because that is a real, true answer. You miss bowling, and you want to bowl. Damn it.
Yeah, real bad.
Well, may you bowl soon, sir.
Thank you. Because right now, I'll also say that, I like raves. I like going to big festivals and stuff. And the thing that I love most about it is, walking into a crowd and meeting random people, and that terrifies the hell out of me right now. Don't come anywhere near me. Stay the fuck away. So I look forward to the day that I don't have to worry about that anymore. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Good point. Myles, that's all of my questions. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This has been an absolute fucking blast.
Thank you.
I had a really good time, period.
Thank you. I did too. I'm so glad you came on. I had such a nice night with also Show-C-yah and with Chelsea and Robby of Who Wrote This Shit were on earlier, which, by the way, people can check you out tomorrow. You're a contestant on the show, right?
Well, I'm a panelist tomorrow, so
I'll
be whipping out some sexy puns. Be sure to tune in.
All right,
Monday,
a panelist.
6
yes.
p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern?
9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. Ooh,
I got
with
you.
The save. I see you.
I used to live in New York, so I convert. And you had that extra Hawaii time zone, so that's how that happened.
Get it.
But okay, so 6 p.m. tomorrow Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. They can follow you or find you on Who Wrote This Shit, which is on. They can find the show on Instagram. Who Wrote This Shit? WWTS Live. Thank you so much, and people should follow you, and they should follow along with all these challenges you're doing, and the lip sync and the videos. I'm excited to see what you put out next.
Definitely check it out, and maybe we'll have you come and compete one time.
I don't know. You've never seen me lip sync.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I'll show you first, and then you can decide.
Deal.
Okay. Myles, thank you. I can't wait to meet you in person one day, and thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Can't wait to hang out with you either. Have a good night.
Also, I can't wait to message you just some stuff that is between us.
We gotta talk wigs.
Yeah. Bye. Okay, everybody, that was Myles McGee. Follow him, send him some coin. Pandemic, I say it all the time. Also, stab. Seriously, guys. Support. Arts. Thank you. And with that, we're going to get to the pudgy little pasty theater major. that we always get to at the end of the show. David Shapiro. Hi, David. Are you there?
Suzette, how are you?
Oh, tired.
Thank you. I'm okay.
Oh.
I just wanted to talk about the Tom Brady and the Super. I know this is kind of late. Like it's past. Like news cycle moves so fast, but with this new president, it moves a little bit slower because we're not trying to process the craziest thing we've ever heard in our lives. So anyway, let's go back a little bit to Tom Brady and the Super Bowl. I was having a discussion with my dad who was saying that Tom Brady is to football what Michael Jordan was to basketball. You know what? Hold on a second.
What is happening? Are you...
No.
No?
Don't hold on.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
What?
I'm sorry. I was going to go put on a Bulls t-shirt. But you know what? I'm wearing a White Sox t-shirt, and Jordan played for them too. So I'm fine. I just wanted to be dressed for the segment. Sorry for that brain. I was thinking about a lot of things. But you know what I'm not thinking about? I'm not thinking about Tom Brady being the equivalent of Michael Jordan. Because here's the thing. Maybe Tom Brady has more championships than any... And hopefully some of your audience is cool with this sports talk for a second. But, bear with me, audience. Tom Brady has more NFL championships, Super Bowl championships, than any other team, right? The quarterback, has more Super Bowl wins than any other team has in their history. That's a crazy stat, right? Mm-hmm. He is the winningest quarterback in the NFL. He's also lost 3 Super Bowls, but he's the winningest quarterback in the NFL. He is the bar for quarterback excellence when it comes to winning a championship. Does that make him the greatest football player ever?
I don't think so.
Football's weird, right? There's a lot of things that happen. There's 22 men on the field at one time. There's 53 men on a roster. There's a lot of players. Some have very specialized, individualized jobs. Long snapper, punter. Some punters kick, but some do a lot of things. There are running backs that can run as the tailback. They can spread out wide. They can go slot. They can even run wildcat and throw the ball. There are wide receivers that can throw the ball. So some have a lot of skills. Some have very specialized skill. Some players from back in the day played multiple positions at one time. Some don't. So, a lot of them don't now. Distracted, phone buzzed. My point is, I don't know if he's the greatest football player ever, but he is the winningest quarterback ever. He's the, and by that metric, you could say he's the greatest quarterback ever.
No.
Do I think he's the greatest quarterback ever?
Do you?
No, I'm biased. I think Jim McMahon, the punky QB from the 1983 Bears, 85 Bears,
okay.
83 is when I was born. 1985 Bears is the greatest quarterback ever.
He's not. He's not.
But I know that's not true.
Right.
I know he's not the greatest quarterback ever. But it's possible that Aaron Rodgers is better. It's possible you could say Peyton Manning's better. You could say
I would not.
Pat Mahomes is going to be better, but then I'd say you're a victim of right now. You need to let Pat Mahomes have a career first, So there are a lot of great quarterbacks, and Tom Brady is great. But is he Michael Jordan? No, he's not. Especially when you say he's the Michael Jordan of football. Because here's the thing. Before Michael Jordan came into the NBA, also 1985. A lot happened in Chicago in 1985, just not me being born. People didn't like the NBA. It was on tape delay. People weren't watching it. Larry and Magic, Larry Bird, first name basis apparently. Yeah. Larry and Magic kind of helped pull the NBA back into where white America, truth, wanted to watch it, but it wasn't quite appointment view. I'm out of focus. It wasn't appointment viewing.
What's wrong with you today?
Like when Michael Jordan came around. He changed sports. He changed marketing, like Gatorade, Nike, countless other products, because of Michael Jordan, got a boost in how they were seen around the world. That's not even counting the NBA. Most foreign players in the NBA today are playing because Michael Jordan played, and the world put their attention on the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. When they went to Barcelona in 1992,
yeah,
the world was just flabbergasted at how, with the Dream Team, not the
Right.
Bulls, the
Yes.
world was
Not gonna touch
flabbergasted
you.
at just Michael Jordan and the celebrity of him and the skill of him. And let's talk about the skill of him, because if you want to say Tom Brady is Michael Jordan, let me finish up that last point really quick, then we'll come right back to this one. So Tom Brady's never changed the way people look at football. Tom Brady's never inspired the world to play the game. Or Tom Brady, does anyone want him to be a pitchman, a spokesman? And certainly that doesn't mean he's a better or lesser quarterback because he doesn't have a product that he's hawking. But he's not, right? Because he's not the same. He's just Tom Brady, right? Like, he's hawking like his $1 million. You have to have a personal chef and eat strawberries flown in from around the world. Like, which is fine. Do your thing, Tom Brady. I'm not hating. I'm impressed that you got like 7. I don't know which fingers you wear them on. It could be like those 4. I don't know. 7, those 7. It doesn't matter. You're not Michael Jordan, right? And you don't need to be. And who am I? You're like, who are you if you're watching this? I don't know if you watched Suzette's show, Tom Brady. Fair point. I'm nobody.
probably
I'm a
does.
guy wearing a White Sox t-shirt on the show of a hot mess princess.
True.
Noted. But Tom Brady isn't Michael Jordan. Because do little kids watch, outside of Boston and Tampa, do little kids watch Tom Brady and say, I want to be him when I grow up?
No.
Do people wear their uniform differently because Tom Brady's wearing his a certain way? No.
No.
They don't.
No.
Now let's get, what was that other point I was making? Oh, I forgot.
David.
Oh, that's right. The way Michael Jordan played. Basketball, obviously inherently different sport than football.
Yes.
Football has become a sport. Didn't start out, and on lower levels, certainly people play both ways. But now, people play one side of the ball. Usually one position. Like I said, some people play multiple positions, but usually people just play one position. Quarterbacks, not since George Blanda, Y.A. Tittle, I don't know. Who was the last quarterback who played both ways?
I'll look it up.
They don't play both ways, you know? Michael Jordan played offense and defense. He had to, because that's how basketball works. And you're probably like, all basketball players play offense and defense, David. Duh. No. Case in point, see James Harden. That man is not playing defense. I don't think he ever has. There are a lot of other players that don't play defense. He's just the one that everyone agrees doesn't play defense. And if he's watching your show, I'm sorry, James Harden.
I don't think he watches.
I don't play basketball. You don't play defense. We're both even. So, anyways, Michael Jordan just didn't stand there on defense because he had to. He was probably the best defender that ever played in the NBA, and he doesn't get credit for it because people only look at his offensive accomplishments, which is fine. I understand you're kind of blinded and awe-inspired, stunned by his offensive accomplishments.
Awestruck.
But the man was probably the best defender ever in the NBA. Better than Dikembe, better than Gary Payton, better than who's the current great defender? Patrick Beverly? I don't know. Do we have a great defender in the NBA right now? Playoff P?
No.
I think, don't nickname yourself. You deed yourself up there, Playoff P. So my point is, Michael Jordan excelled both sides of the ball, controlled the entire game. Tom Brady's only controlling one side of the game. If you want to be the Michael Jordan of football, I think you should have to control both sides of the game, like a Charles Woodson could have, or a Deion Sanders was probably the last player who was able to do that. But you're not, I don't know,
Full-time is
maybe
Chuck
be a
Bednarik.
middle linebacker who comes in on goal line downs and, gets into the end zone. I don't know how you be I don't think you can. That's the point. I don't think you can be the Michael Jordan of anything. I think that was a one-time lightning strike thing where Michael Jordan was the perfect person in the perfect moment, in the perfect situation to affect the globe in a way that no one else ever can, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to be, let's say you don't want to have the global effect of Michael Jordan, you just want to be the greatest ever in your sport, okay, fine. But is Tom Brady the greatest ever in his sport? I still don't know, because football is such a team sport, and so is basketball. Go back and check the tapes. Michael Jordan actually didn't hit most of the game winners in most of the finals. He actually relied on his teammates, like a good player would. Whereas Tom Brady screams at his players when they mess up. Did Michael Jordan scream at them? Yes. Did he punch them? Yes. But I think he did so because he loved them. I don't think Tom Brady loves his teammates. You can show me him drinking with them and like inviting them into his house, but something tells me that's just for him. I don't know. Anyway, that's my point. Tom Brady is not the Michael Jordan of football. Michael Jordan is the Michael Jordan of basketball. I'm not sure who the Michael Jordan of football is. I think I mentioned Dion. You might have to say Dion. I don't know. And if you're going to go with a one-side player, maybe Barry Sanders certainly changed the way a lot of people thought about football. Yeah, I don't think there is one, you know? I don't think there can. I think there could be a total domination player in baseball, but I think football, because of the way it's played, you can't get that. So that's my point. Like, you know, congrats Tampa Bay Buccaneers on your recent Super Bowl championship. I was actually rooting for you because I know a Chiefs fan from my life that I don't like, and so I didn't want her to be happy. I know some Chiefs fans that I do like, and I wanted them to be happy, but I wanted the one not to be happy more. Sorry. But you don't have the Michael Jordan of football, because that doesn't exist. That's my segment, Suzette. Thank you for letting me ramble about sports. I hope you weren't. I know you weren't. You're a sports fan, and so you were probably not bored. Okay? Yeah. And I hope your audience wasn't. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, David Shapiro. Thank you, David, for coming on and rambling about sports. That's all we have for this episode. So once again, thank you to Robby Sandler, Chelsea Bearce, Sia Envy, Myles McGee, Jesse, who makes this show look great, Stab Theater, which is where we film. You guys for watching. Tune in next week, 5:03 on Sunday the 28th, where we interview Brittany Brave, stand-up comedian out of Miami and New York City. Excited for that, and see you next week. Be safe.
The city's your playground, I watch you take a bite. At 5 a.m. roaming the streets, drunk all night. You think you're hot shit and ooh, I love it.